Hail and well met. Welcome to the Dungeon Scrawlers stream. We are taking a break from doing Westgate Irregulars stories to do lots of one-shots and experimental things. And we have great friend of the show, Jacob Hitch, to come here and do another episode of our Aurora Stargazer one-shot, now a two-shot. Yeah. So I'm Eric Scott DeBee, the usual DM of this campaign, but not always. I like playing, so this is great. And I am reprising my role of Gerta Grimm, a gnome thief, and now I have cunning action, so you better watch out. And yeah, we are second level now. It is great. Anyway, so you may notice that a bunch of the normal crew is not here tonight. Because, you know, we're between things and it's summer and it's a heat wave. So instead of saying, take it away, Aaron, I'm going to have to tell you about Idle Champions. So Idle Champions, one of our supporters and sponsors of the show, is a computer game, a RPG that combines characters from all kinds of D&D novels and games and video games and movies. That's right. There will be a Forgotten Realms movie. Keep your eyes open into one adventure, including Havilar Farida Mehen from the Brimstone Angel series, written by the ever-talented Erin M. Evans, who's working on her sequel to her novel Empire of Exiles right now, like as we speak. So yeah, you should be checking those things out. Anyway, Idle Champions is a strategy game. It's available on all kinds of devices. These, all kinds of games, all kinds of gaming platforms. And we have an opportunity to enter a code to get an Electrum Chest for yourself to enhance and up your game. If you get something really great, let us know. The code is somewhere in the doobly-doo here above Yang Yang. Awesome. And with that, take it away, Yang Yang.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Yang Yang Wang. So I'm one of the Dungeon Scrawlers and, you know, part of the Westgate Irregulars. So we actually have another member that is currently absent. I don't know if you could see this black box over here to on the left side of the screen. Rhiannon will be joining us at some point, hopefully, but her internet is currently out. So at some point, we just might have her randomly hop in. That's just how we're gonna do it. So we are continuing to support a number of charities. So those of you who are on Twitch, you can see that we have a little doobly-doo for the International Rescue Committee. Currently, we raised $45 out of $100 for them. The war in Ukraine, you know, it's a terrible, tragic thing, and I cannot believe it is still going on right now. But the International Rescue Committee is doing their best to help the refugees, the Ukrainian refugees that have been left displaced by this terrible war. They get them food, they get them shelter, they get them medical attention. They help them with, you know, everything to get settled as a result of this tragic event. So please consider supporting them. Stephen.
Yes, hi, I'm Stephen Merlino. I am playing today Friar Tim, who is a Celesticept of the summer solstice, which is a very special, probably the best kind of Celesticept. I don't want to say that too loud around Yang Yang, but
certainly the hottest kind.
He's a human. He is a far traveler and a cleric. And that's all I'm going to tell you about him, because I have to rediscover him and I have to inhabit him here in the next minute. But before I do that, I want to tell you about the giveaway we have today. Today we just have one, and it is from Phoenix Dice. As you know, Phoenix Dice has been giving away dice and trays for at least a year here, and today's no exception. So if you go to the chat and type in !ticket, you will be automatically entered, and we'll announce a winner at the end of the game today. It's awesome. Your choice of whatever they've got in stock for the dice set and tray.
Sweet.
Do that before we've started and you get, you know, distracted. Just !ticket, enter.
Yeah, their dice are super rad, and they're made from like 100% recycled materials. So yeah, you know, maybe doing the Earth a favor too.
Dice that are rising from the ashes.
Yeah.
To destroy your enemies.
All right, so we're going to pass it on to Trenton Tarantino. I mean, Jake.
Right before this at 6 o'clock, we came to the realization that I kind of look like Quentin Tarantino. And now I've quickly scribbled on my note cards here ways to include that in the game. Hi, my name is Jake Hipsch. I am over from Ink and Lyre. I am your game master this evening and have been the one working on writing these quests set in the world of Aurora. So this is the second of a 3-part series of quests that I've been working on. The first leading you deep into the museum at Niveau Maximum, this awesome, very powerful wizarding school, as well as like kind of just museum for a large city and also a couple other, like a research station, right? And so you go in there and you're solving puzzles and clues. And I'm really lucky to be playing tonight with the Dungeon Scrawlers, right? It was a ton of fun to play a while back. And now we're back again to see what happens at the Twilight Faire, where potentially folks are going to get sick off of deep fried food and find other strange, fun things to do.
Awesome.
Yeah. So super happy to be here.
Excellent.
Well, welcome. We're glad to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
yes, go
are
on.
we ready to begin? Or is there anything else we want to mention quick?
I think we're good to go.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to tell people a little bit about what Stargazers is. You know, it is 5e.
Yeah. I didn't know if I should do that at the beginning or end, so I'll do it now. And
Yeah, do it all the time.
Return. Yeah.
All the time, every time.
Stargazer's Guide to Aurora is a homebrew world and additional rule set added to D&D 5e, created by folks over in Ink and Lyre, Daniel Hodges, Lauren Hodges, myself, and a couple other writers. It sets you in this world where you can be blessed by the stars, and that the zodiac signs walk and live among us as near divine entities that empower us and inform sort of our fates, lives, and destinies. With this book, you gain the new race Selepta set. You also can acquire new powers, which may come out in today's session, based upon the empowerments of the stars themselves. So each one of our players here has a unique boon and detriment based upon the time and year that they were born, as well as their star sign. Yeah, so for this adventure, this is the second of 2 adventures that were created because we ran a Kickstarter for this 250-page some odd book that was successful. So we're actually now about to enter our fulfillment phase and give people that book. You can also find that book at DriveThruRPG as well if you are interested in it. And if you want to watch other players play in this setting, Ink and Lyre is running on Mondays the Fates End game, and we're actually kind of near the end of that campaign arc. It's been going on for about 2 years, and then it will end, and we'll see what happens after that. But our group of players there are about to duke it out with the corrupting Morrow, this terrifying demon. And I watched the last episode. Some of the players have recently sold their souls, apparently, or something like that.
Okay.
Demons. So there's some strange dealings going on, it seems, and I'm excited to see how the climax kind of comes to a resolution here.
Awesome.
Are you DMing that?
I am not DMing that one, no. Lauren Hodges is running that, and it's a fantastic group of players. They play at 5:30 PST or 7:30 CST, and you can go and find them over on the Ink and Lyre page.
Is there a podcast version?
Is there there is. We are working on that, and we are releasing those. There is a podcast version.
Awesome.
Look it up right now.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I dropped the links over in the chat. So yeah, if people ever want to know more, it's ! Stargazer or ! Ink and Lyre. We'll pull up the relevant links. But with that,
I'll add one last quick thing, which is that if you do want to catch in terms of Aurora, we're doing a short sort of 6-shot that's actually finishing tonight. And it's Aurora Origin. So it kind of talks a little bit about the pantheon that exists within our book, how that pantheon, those masters of the weave kind of came to be. And I'm hoping that all goes well for that party, because my interpretation of how it's been going is that it's been going badly for them. They're fighting a terrifying Hydra, apparently, but you can catch any of those episodes if you miss them, and I would love to have you join us for tonight. But you can catch those episodes on YouTube. We post them up there after the episodes are aired. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much.
That sounds very cool. Thanks.
So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Aurora, and welcome back to the grand city of Cambria. Each of you had, at the end of the last adventure, worked a job in Niveau Maximum, this grandiose mage college in the heart of Aurora's capital, Cambria. There, you wandered around through this new exhibit that's opening up called the Stargazers, the Stars of Aurora. And when you were wandering through there, you heard that there were issues and errors going on. You actually found yourselves eventually fighting against two of the avatars of one of the star signs itself, the Swindle twins. Also, kind of in the real world, they would be based off of Gemini. While you were fighting them, you had to go through various rooms, solve puzzles. You eventually were also part of apparently a Grey's Anatomy set at one point in time. And you were working as doctors in a clinic. And after you had succeeded in dealing with all of these obstacles and puzzles, you found out a couple of things as you left this adventure. The first is that you drove away the Swindle twins. But the Swindle twins are always around where there is somebody who is guilty, where there is something that sort of a justice is going to be enacted, but it's going to be enacted in chaos. It's going to devolve in chaos. It's not going to go as well as somebody might hope. You completed these tasks, barely surviving with Datura actually using a wild magic spell and fading nearly from existence. It turned out just to be turning invisible. And you were rewarded for your services by curator Leah Traber. She paid you money, gave you a free room to stay, and she gave you tickets to come back for the grand opening of the Stars of Aurora and the gala that is set to take place this evening.
Cool.
You have had an evening to sort of rest, relax, and now you wake up the next day to discover that you are actually right in time for the Twilight Faire, a massive festival that's held for the summer solstice.
Awesome.
That's my time.
And so, as you are walking out of your inn and around you, you can see that there are colorful banners that wave in the air. You can see brilliant flags adorned with silvery, shimmering stars. You've heard that the Twilight Faire is a place for festivities. You know that there's a ton of different activities you can do. And there's also always room for adventure. In a city of this size, there's nothing but adventure that you can find here. And as you step out of your inn, I would ask you all for just a moment to re-describe yourselves. In the first session we described ourselves. Could you just describe yourselves again? And I'm going to start with our solstice-born individual. Friar Tim, would you describe yourself?
Well, Tim is tall, bearded, very well-trimmed, elegant, poised individual who is radiant on this evening because it is his time. The solstice, the summer solstice, when magic and light and goodness are at their peak in power. Can't get any better than this. He is a cleric of the planar domain, and he's glowing on this evening. I'm trying to think of someone he looks like, but I'm whiffing. Well, if you imagine Saruman, if he wasn't evil and his hair was much shorter, it looks a bit like that. Remember Saruman from the, give him a haircut, darker hair, maybe a little gingery, very poised. That's it.
Saruman, like at 40.
Yeah, Saruman at 40. There you go. He has He has a kind of staff that with an astrolabe at the top, which is his mace.
Oh, nice.
If you would introduce yourself as well, then Goethe.
All right. Goethe is not big and grand, but small and unassuming, with dirty blonde hair tied back in a ponytail, kind of quick-eyed, quick-fingered, coming out of their shell a little bit, to hang out with these friends. It's good to have friends. It's good to trust people. I like this. Goethe is always picking little bits of food out of their pocket and feeding them to small animals that seem to follow them around everywhere. And also has a short sword and a couple of daggers. Wears a forest green cloak, maybe with a nice little brooch that I picked up at the fair, or I'm looking for a brooch to attach to my cloak. So,
Vaskir.
So Vaskir is a tall, daunting, overbearing man. He looks to be chiseled from a really dark rock, but like a really hard type of rock where the artist attempt to chisel it and just failed because no tool can cut into its surface. His muscles, he's just like, well muscled, but the planes of his face are like a little irregular and not symmetrical. He has steely gray eyes that just seem to pierce whatever they're looking at, and he sweeps that gaze around regularly, looking for those that are up to no good.
As you are sweeping your gaze around regularly, Friar Tim, you are radiating on this day. Actually, because it is the solstice day, Friar Tim, you will be able to roll at any point in time today. You can call upon the solstice's power to roll advantage on some check. You have inspiration as you find yourself empowered here. And Goethe, as you are feeding, you can see that a couple of pigeons have sort of landed nearby you and are starting to kind of gather and get closer and closer. They can tell that you have some food and they're very interested.
Fat pigeons.
Vaskir, as you're looking around, you can see a teenager in brightly colored livery calls out, "The Twilight Faire has begun. Visit your local vendors, enjoy the games, and come back later for the lunar dance." And approaching you,
dance.
The teenage herald hands you a pamphlet of activities and then leans in close.
Vaskir leans back slightly.
What is it? What is it? Go on. Don't be afraid.
I have a message for you from curator Leah Traber of Niveau Maximum. She says, first, thank you for your services yesterday. And second, one of her staff has decided to avoid work today. She will pay you well for finding and returning this staff member to the museum. The herald then hands you, reaching out, and gives over to you, Goethe, a small magical image of the staff member that appears to be a young man in his early 20s. And you can see that it is of a very precise likeness and coloration of this individual.
So we're gonna be rewarded for making this guy go to work, huh?
I wonder if some foul play is suspected, as if perhaps they've been kept away from work by some sort of foul play.
Yes, foul play, like wanting to enjoy their lives.
Can you tell us more about his disappearance?
Nope. I'm just a herald of the fair. I don't really know much about it, other than you can go and find some good activities. If you want to actually learn more about why the disappearance is happening, you can go find this person yourself.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What would you recommend we do?
Well, let me show you. And you
Excellent.
watch as the herald pulls out a pamphlet, a map of the city and of the fair. And I'm going to now change screens here on Roll20.
Awesome.
You can see that as this pamphlet, you open it up, you watch as sand begins to rise out of the pamphlet as buildings begin to form themselves out of the little bits of sand. And then magical words in arcane script are just scribbling above and then pointing down into various areas. You see the spiring tower of a Niveau Maximum right in the center. And then you can see that there's a couple of events that are going on. The first, as the herald begins to talk to you, says, first off, you can never go wrong with a dunk tank. There is a dunk tank you can go dunk people in. It's quite a good time. You can actually get dunked in yourself. And if you're really feeling risky, you can ask them to do the abyssal mode. And that's a ton of fun. Secondly, if you would like, you can go and take on the near impossible Flight of Iron Ice. It's a feat of physical prowess or dexterous prowess, potentially, that almost no one has ever won. So I wish you luck if you decide to go there, and there are pretty good prizes.
No one until today.
Never won until today. You might, if you feel a little bit sneaky, you might go over to the Sneak and the Ogre. It's mostly a game for kids, but adults are allowed to play. And if you get caught, you get eaten by an ogre. It's pretty fun. There's always, as always, you can go and join the Dueling Bards. I know that Primrose is going to be playing there, and it's a ton of fun to see those two just duke it out, throw insults at each other, and sometimes they invite people up on stage.
Oh.
Last and not least, I'd invite you all to, if you're feeling kind of like you have a bigger brain than everyone else, go over to Brain Battles. It's a great time. You go and you try to see if you're a better magic caster than some of the other people here in Cambria.
Oh, like a fireball competition?
More like a test of endurance competition is what I've heard it is. And don't worry, if you don't cast magic, they'll do it for you. So you can go and join if you don't cast it.
Oh, that sounds fun. Maybe we should do that.
Well,
but Datura is not here. Datura is more of the magic person. She was a little worn out, you know.
Yes, perhaps
she'll
we should
catch
wait
up
for
with
her.
us. Yeah, she'll catch up with us later. It's not a big deal.
And what is our priority, do you think?
Oh, actually, I do have a priority for you, if you're interested. I forgot about one last thing. And you watch as the teenager points, and not very far away, you see a little kiosk. You can see that above this kiosk, you see a sign overhead that says, "Catch the Weasel." And you see this woman dressed in volunteer uniform over there with a gleaming badge on her chest. You can see that she has like this large looking, almost like broochish badge. And you sees the teenager points over there and says, "You should just go sign up for that. It costs almost nothing, and it's a great game to play over the course of the entire fair. Go talk to the volunteer. She'll tell you more."
Can you tell us where this employee lives? Perhaps we should start by looking at their home.
Again, I'm mostly just a volunteer for the fair, so I'm going to tell you more. Just go enjoy yourself, and if you have a chance, apparently find this person. But I'm just a volunteer for the fair. I don't know where people live.
So we have an optional job to find this worker. I see. All right. Well,
the teenager sort of shrugs, and then one of their hands shifts. And Goethe, you notice for just a second that the teenager is using a bit of thieves' cant in this moment.
Oh, okay. What is he saying? So I can understand thieves' cant.
You notice that the teenager sort of uses some thieves' cant and goes, "Be careful for the weasel," is basically signed out to you.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's start.
Goes
there.
the weasel.
As you all gather yourselves together and determine where you're going to go and what you're going to do, you hear the clock tower begin to toll out, and you are reminded that you actually are invited to the opening night of the gala this evening. You think that in terms of what you're going to do over the course of this day, that you can probably do just a couple of events over the course of the fair before you probably have to go and prepare yourself for the gala, get yourself suited up for it, and then head on over because you don't want to be late. So you will be able to decide which events you want to do, but you will likely, this affair is enormous. You won't be able to do them all.
Do we think we have enough time to do one event each?
You think that you could probably do one event each and maybe like one more after that.
Gotcha. Well, Vaskir is interested in the Flight of Iron Ice, and he communicates that to Friar Tim and Gorta.
Oh, yeah. We should go check that out.
I don't think that's quite what I would do myself, but I would happily assist you.
We could each choose one, and then we'll just take turns doing them. But maybe it'd be wise to start with the kiosk and the weasel and learn as much as we can about that.
The weasel. Very well. Let's go.
As you draw close to this kiosk, you can see as the volunteer, she, again, wearing this brooch-like badge that seems to be gleaming with some sort of arcane energy, says, oh, hey, we need more volunteers to help catch the weasel. Add a couple copper pieces to the pot, and maybe you can win the prize.
Wow.
Me, I volunteer to catch this weasel. Is it a
That's what I'm talking
nefarious weasel?
Put 5 copper pieces in, please.
Veskir tosses in 5 copper pieces, and then he looks at Friar Tim, and he looks at Goethe, and he says, you two as well?
Yes, 5 for me as well.
5 more copper?
5 copper pieces.
Excellent, thank you so much. You watch as she slides across 3 of these arcane badges. It says, if you wear these badges tell that you are part of the thief catchers, right? You'll see a lot of other people doing it. A lot of people play this game. Let me tell you the rules quickly. You are not allowed to attack the weasel in a dangerous way. The weasel is selected from a group of kids who win a lucky lottery every year, and they get dressed up in a weasel costume. This is going to make them extremely hard to catch, as that costume makes them very quick, nimble on their feet, and has some magical properties to it. So when you spot this weasel, you can go and try to catch them. You aren't really allowed to attack them, or please don't attack them. Lastly, we are not liable if you get hurt in any way, shape, or form during the course of this adventure. So any questions?
No.
Not that I can think of.
Seems straightforward to me.
Wonderful. And I would just advise, keep your eyes out. Everywhere you go throughout this fair, that weasel is moving around, and they are going to be trying to steal stuff from people. They're going to be stealing stuff potentially from you. And again, we are not liable to return the things that are stolen to you. So if you just keep your eyes out, you keep your wits sharp about you, you'll be able to spot this weasel, hopefully, and have a chance to catch them.
Okay.
Spot the weasel. Lovely game.
Right, seems straightforward enough. Veskir takes the badge and he pins it. He brushes his cloak aside and he pins it on his shoulder right next to the badge, the symbol of the Oath of the Sovereignty Paladin. And right below that is a little red cross that denotes his medical training.
Ooh, yes.
Should beware of the weasel, by the way. Weasels are dangerous. You never know.
He said it was supposed to be a child. How could a child be dangerous?
Judge me by my size?
Point taken.
As you all are kind of thinking...
I nailed you to that were-rat that one time.
As you all are thinking about this, you do recall that historically this game was created from an actual real life pickpocket who was nicknamed the Weasel, who was a menace years and years ago and has vanished since then. Nobody ever caught them. So now this game has been created sort of in an homage to that experience, because that pickpocket was so quick and so nimble on their feet. So now a kid gets picked luckily from a lottery, and then they get to go basically steal anything they want over the course of this fair, and people just try to catch them, and they're extremely quick.
Ooh, that'd be so fun as a kid. Holy cow. Well, if I ever met the real weasel, though, and then Veskir swings his shield a couple of times in the air, you think he's picked up some new tricks with his shield.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
Shall we head off to the flight of Iron Ice first, or would one of you two like to choose a spot?
Oh, nice. Sounds lovely. I would like to go to the brain battle at some point.
All right.
Goethe, did something capture your eye as well?
Oh no, just a little curious.
All right. Well, let's head off to the flight of Iron Ice first.
You begin trekking along, moving your way through through the fair. You can see that people are selling all sorts of goods, foods, random trinkets. You can see that there's an entire kiosk set up for custom-made blades and weaponry, obviously sheathed and bound during the being in the fair and just not letting people kind of wield that stuff out willy-nilly. But you begin making your way along. You can hear that one group of people is selling deep-fried galaxies, and you can see that they're waving around what looks to be like almost just rings of almost chocolate bread, but embedded with small little what seem to be maybe like cream-like stars, and then there is a swirling galaxy in between them as it's been dipped in fried and served out to folks. And so you can purchase any amount of food or anything like that as you make your way over to the Flight of Iron Ice.
Oh.
A beverage would be lovely. A flute of something light and bright. Perhaps champagne. Slightly enchanted champagne.
You eventually find your way over and grab. You can find, there's plenty of bars and taverns that have now outdoors sort of patio seating and Hofbrauhaus type of style benching, and you can get your hands on a very light and flighty bit of champagne. If you
Shall I? I'll get one for each of my friends.
Okay.
To the weasel, rather to catching the weasel.
To the weasel. I check my coin purse just to make sure it's still there.
As you check your coin purse, everybody here make a perception check.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We knew that was coming.
17. Nice. Okay. Awesome. Oh my gosh. So both Friar Tim and Goethe, Goethe, you start to check your thing. Friar Tim, you say, to the weasel. You both look up, and Vaskir, you haven't noticed this quite yet, but pretty quickly you will see. You watch as nearby the bar where you had purchased this drink, you can actually see scuttling across the rooftops a small child dressed in a bright yellow looking, almost like a Pikachu-esque weasel outfit.
Yes.
And as they move, you can see them almost blurring and shifting, and then they spider crawl down the side of the side of the building, and then scuttle over the top of the bar. And you can see that as they reach down with a nimble hand, and they begin to pluck purses from like where the register of this bar would be, and you can see as they're stuffing them all up in like one of those little like kangaroo pouches in the front of the costume.
Oh my god.
So if you are wanting to attempt to catch this weasel, just to give you kind of a mechanical assistance in this, it requires a number of checks to attempt to do so. And you have to be successful 3 times in a row at a DC 15. But the way that you attempt to catch this weasel can be any check you choose. You must describe how you do it, though. So it could be intelligence-based, it could be wisdom-based, it could be any sort of one of those checks. But you have to describe what it is that you attempt to do to catch the weasel.
And catching the weasel is incapacitating the weasel without hurting the weasel. Like grappling them would be one way.
Yep.
Okay. What if I used a command spell to ask them to come over to me?
You certainly can.
Okay. Well, that's the first thing I'm going to do is get its attention and say, and snap my fingers. Young man, come to me.
Okay. You turn, and as you say this, you can see they look to be the little kid sort of looks up at you. And are you casting your command spell on them?
Yeah.
You watch as they are going to make what's your DC saving throw?
12, but you know.
Okay. You see as they turn and look up at you, and rolling with their DC wisdom saving throw, they get a 12. They have a +1 to this. As you watch as you say, young man, come, and you can see this little boy, and he has this kind of just mischievous grin as he's stuffing one more sack of gold into his pouch. And as he looks up at you, you can see as the ears of the weasel costume fold around his own. To help protect him from your spell as it's cast.
Rats.
And the kid goes, no! weasel! And you see as everyone in the area turns and goes, the weasel! And all sorts of chaos just begin to erupt as people are trying to search and look for this. Unfortunately, this was your first attempt and you were not as successful, and you all see an opportunity fade as the weasel scuttles, leaping, bounding almost 20-25 feet up onto another ledge and then running up the side of the wall and vanishing away. You see his coins sort of clatter along in their wake as they're running out of earshot and out of distance and out of sight. And you've lost your chance to catch the weasel for this.
Friar Tim, do children normally do that?
Run from me? No.
Scamper up the building, spider climb style, and make off.
That did seem rather enchanted, didn't it?
I don't know many children who could do that.
Neither do I.
Must be that yellow suit gives him abilities.
It is a pretty classy suit. Maybe it gives him some class.
It's possible.
It did protect him from my command.
Yeah, that suit gives you a lot of different powers.
No? Who's speaking?
Who said that?
If you turn and you look, you see a young girl, maybe like 8 or 9, standing there. Her arms are crossed. She's leaning against the side of a building nearby. She's clearly been listening to all of you. She's wearing just a pretty simple little sundress, and she has on a big floppy hat that's been pulled back and almost kind of like Indiana Jones style. You can see like there's a clip that's trying to keep it up so it doesn't fall on her face. And as she looks at you, she goes, "Yeah, I was once the weasel. And that's a really powerful suit."
What sort of things can it do?
Well, it lets you jump really far, and it lets you spider climb up walls. And then you can also, once per day, if you needed to, teleport. And it's pretty fun if you do that. There's a little bit of protection if there's people try to cast magic on you. You know, sometimes you get some person like a wizard or something who just is like, "Oh, I'm gonna just use a spell to catch him," and it helps you protect you once when you do that. But it really just makes you really quick and really slippery. If you put your hands on them, it's really hard to hold on to it.
The mountebank's power.
Gerta, do you think you could fit in that suit?
Undoubtedly.
We need to procure this suit, friends.
I can help you procure it if you want.
Oh? How?
Yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of friends, and we could help try to corner the weasel for you.
How much?
Now we're talking.
Kurt's just gonna make an inside check.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think it's time for an insight check too.
You can see that this little kid is again a little like a young child. But you see like just a wicked level of intelligence behind their eyes as they are looking at you, and you can also get the sense, Gerta, you've seen con people before. This kid can do it. Like, this kid is able to con people at a moment's notice, but also very much so is actually offering you a deal here. It seems. It seems they are just a thief trying to do a service here. Friar Tim, you look at this kid and you can see that this kid actually, you somewhat recognize this kid, and this kid was last year's weasel. And stole a ton from your temple last year.
I think I know you.
Yeah, you recognize this kid's name is Willie.
Willie, is it? Willie.
Yeah. And as she looks at you, she goes, "So you're talking price. I'm thinking a favor to be repaid later."
I think you should take her up on it. Kid seems smart.
This seems rather sketchy suddenly.
No, it's not sketchy.
Why would you think that? I think it's totally reasonable.
I mean, normally children want candies, or perhaps gold coins so they may purchase candies, not favors for later.
Not in my experience.
Yeah, not in my experience either.
Are you sure I can't interest you in some candies instead?
I want to communicate with the girl. Yeah, they're totally falling for it.
Oh yeah, I would take some candies. If you have like a skeleton key, I would take one of those. I'll take you know, anything else that's just sort of like a trinket. I don't really need an actual candy.
You know what makes good candy? Gold. Gold makes good candy.
So what is it? Are you gonna take the deal or not? I don't have all day. And she puts out her hand.
You started this. You finish it. I'm looking at Yang Yang's character.
Oh, Vaskir? Oh god.
Vaskir.
All right, small child. I shall choose to trust you because I believe that you are an ally of justice and you will help us in procuring and cornering this weasel character.
Yes to the second part. Okay. You shake hands with Willie, and Willie, you see Thieves' Cant's back at you, Goethe, and it just goes, nailed it. And
nailed it.
Turns and leaves. And as you watch, you notice that what you had not seen before is like almost a stream of about 3 or 4 other kids falling behind Willie as they all leave the area.
She seems nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't wait to tell her more about the tenets of my brotherhood.
I'm sure she'll listen with a joyful heart.
Friar Tim, you have some moral speeches that you can make at her, right?
You think this is the time?
No, later. Absolutely later.
Right. Well, what is this ice thing you were speaking of?
The flight of iron ice. Yes, let's head over there.
You say that and you begin to head over, and it's not very far away from where you decided to get your drinks. And as you make your way over, you find that there is a massive line that just seems to double back over and over again as people are lined up to perform the flight of iron ice. And before you, you see this large-looking stage. And upon the stage, you see 4 different levels of walls. One appears to be a low wooden wall, a second seems to be a stone wall of a medium height. Then you have an iron wall, and lastly, a wall that is nigh possibly tall. You see what looks to be a wall made entirely of ice.
Ooh.
Wow.
You see, as standing there with a microphone, you hear this one, the announcer go, Fairgoers, welcome to the Wall of Iron Ice. Step up, take your turn. So far, I just want to report that no one has completed the High Iron Wall. Test your luck, try your luck here, and we'll see what you can get. Remember, our prizes are the best, and you might be able to win the affections of someone nearby you if you get over the high enough wall.
Vaskir looks at Friar Tim and he looks at Goethe. Affections, eh?
Yeah.
Are we seeing people attempt it at this point?
You watch and you stand in line as you all gather, and whomever chooses not to join doesn't have to join this. But as you stand in line, you see as people are attempting this. This looks to be difficult. You can hear the announcer every so often talks about these walls as well, and talks about the story that a hero long ago was fighting a massive black dragon and their horde, and in necessary they had to gather their army and combine it with the army that was being routed, and the massive black dragon had formed a magical wall of ice that had stopped the 2 armies from connecting. And this hero, Acero, in a single bound had leaped over that wall of ice, dispelling the magic and binding the 2 armies together. And as you watch these people attempt this, you see that almost everyone only gets over the low wooden wall and then fails at the medium stone wall.
How high?
It is high. In terms of like height within mechanics, it is, I don't know how to accurately describe that to make sure that this is appropriate, but I can tell you that the DC of getting over that wall is 18 to get over the medium wall.
Are there rules? Like what's allowed?
Yeah. You've learned that a couple of the rules is that the magic is not allowed. Cheating is not allowed, and people are watching you.
I don't know what you're accusing me of. I wasn't looking up my spells right now.
Now, you would think that some people, you're trying to get a sense, you could try to cheat. You can try to get away with stuff that seems to be subtle, right? But this seems to be truly a feat of strength or a feat of dexterity. However you find your way of bounding over this wall. You watch as some people have cleverly, like, they'll take an axe and throw it and then try to leap off of the axe. But that only works on the low wooden wall because the stone wall prevents that option for you. And the iron wall would prevent that for you further. So you think that some of the kind of cheating that is going on really only works early on, and then you have to get clever for the rest of them. But as you wait and move your way through the line, you all find as you are soon to be up. And I'll let you all decide where your position in line is and who is competing in this.
This is climbing. This is athletics, right?
Seems to be an athletics check.
Yep.
Perhaps acrobatics.
I will be watching.
I mean, there's no harm in all of us trying, right?
Oh, well, there's a certain amount of dignity one must maintain. I think, a fellow of my stature trying to grapple and grope a wall isn't quite seemly. I'll watch and look for the weasel. I'll be watching for the weasel.
Look, if you don't want to climb the wall because you're too afraid, it's okay. Don't worry, we're not going to make fun of you.
Was there a wall at some point in your past, Friar Tim, that really disappointed you and caused you such deep-seated emotional pain? Hey, thank you, the Alexandrian, for the raid.
The Alexandrian.
I was going to say terror, but, pain is fine.
I don't think this is really quite relevant. Again, the weasel. What? You'll be distracted. I will be watching for the weasel.
Okay.
So who's going first?
I believe Vaskir is, I guess.
All right, Vaskir.
So it says that I have this feat, air conjuration. I have an affinity for how objects are designed and created. I may spend a minute inspecting an object to determine if there are any flaws or unique elements to its design.
Awesome.
So, of course, I'm going to... Oh my god, what the heck? Oh, thank you so much, Virtual Department, for donating $50 to support the International Rescue Committee.
Right on.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you earlier. Let's see, L3 LeBest. Thank you so much, LeBest, for also supporting the IRC.
Awesome.
So of course, Vaskir is going to be trying for the biggest wall, the Iron Wall.
Of course. You discover, Vaskir, you have to jump all four. You have to go one at a time over them.
Well, clearly, yes. No problem.
Question.
Yes.
How far apart are they? Could you go up one and then jump from tip to tip?
They have designed it so that you cannot do that. So, Vaskir, if you would like to attempt this jump, you also have this air feat, and you can describe how you want to use it. But your first jump, if you want to attempt to athletically get over this low wooden wall, will be a DC 15 jump.
Okay, so the way he wants to use it is that he wants to look at each of these walls, and he wants to see if there's any flaw in their design that creates maybe some sort of foothold that he could just use to get a little more traction to get on top of them.
Looking at this, you think that if you get to the medium stone wall and the high iron wall, you can see with your air's ability that those seem to have some flaws in them.
Okay.
But you would have to first get to them.
Okay. 15? No problem. I was born to leap walls. Oh, God, 11.
Ouch. Ooh.
Oof.
I'm kind of imagining.
What was missing?
I was imagining is he was doing that parkour thing where you run straight at a wall and then your foot goes out and the impact and the pressure of the foot gives you something to post off of, but he just went woof right into the wall.
You know what was missing? A ne'er-do-well. Usually I'm so used to just chasing them and jumping over to these fences in order to get them, but there's nothing to compel me to want to leap over to these walls.
So Vaskir, what does it look like as you attempt to get over the low wooden wall?
Yeah, it's much like Steven described. So Vaskir's like running at the wall, but he's so used to like chasing after somebody and timing his jump with the jump of the criminal that he's chasing. And without the criminal, he mistimes it. So instead, he jumps way too late and ends up just like face planting directly into the wall. Boom!
Superb. You hear all the crowd go, "Oh!" And you can hear.
I'm all right.
Goes, ooh, the yikes! All right,
I'm okay.
You're bleeding.
There's some
bleeding.
polite golf clapping as Vaskir, right?
I heal myself.
The stage.
I heal myself with lay on hands.
Well. I think I might have to try after all. After all, I have the good luck of the solstice with me today, don't I? And is it possible?
I don't know. Do you?
Could I use my staff to do a bit of a vault?
Sure.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I have inspiration on this, so even though I have only a +1 in athletics, I might roll well. So here we go.
All right, Friar Tim.
All right.
Come on, Tim.
Wait, Tim's going to do some deep knee bends first.
Come on, Timmy.
And he's going to do some twisting about of the torso, and then he's going to say,
Tim.
And you
righto!
And you hear somebody go, "Hurry up!" And another person goes, "Stretching's important."
And Tim's going to run at it. Did pole vaulting and back in the, the training place where I learned things, the temple. And he's going to vault and try to do a thing where he kicks his legs up over first and then comes back over with his staff. Here we go.
Excellent.
Oh, it's a 15!
With advantage. You gleam with your solstice light as you fly over the low wooden wall, and you hear as a lot of people go, "Woo, yeah, woo!" That you've already completed what about 90% of the people can complete, but then it gets much harder. But people are still surprised. I mean, anybody getting even over the first wall is impressive. So.
I'm surprised too, Friar Tim. Good job.
You did it.
All right. Friar Tim, it's your chance now to try to get over the medium stone wall with a DC 18.
Well, I have to say, I think I'll quit while I'm ahead. Thank you, everyone, for your support. But, part of life's game is knowing when you're ahead and knowing when to stop. I've been Tim. Farewell. And he's going to stroll off into the crowd.
Some people are like, nice, yeah.
Now Tim does have a high constitution, so can I see? That's a performance check. Can I do a performance to see how well he just sells this?
Of course.
No, not so great. Mediocre, probably about
with
the way
a 10. You see that some people in the line in front of nearby you, Goethe, are like, yeah, I mean, I guess. And then they just leave the line. And then a lot of other people are like, there's prizes if you get over later walls. Why would you bother stopping now? And Friar Tim, you just are heroically finishing with a success. You did not fail in front of this crowd.
He's an excellent demotivator.
Well, he overcame his fear of embarrassment in order to just dominate that first wall.
That's right. That's right. Good job, Tim. Good job.
You're an inspiration, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, is it my turn to try and get over the wall?
It's your turn, and while you are prepping yourself and you're going to describe the scene, I'm going to ask that Vaskir make a perception check for me.
I'm about to get robbed
15.
again.
Whoa!
Okay,
not bad.
Nice. All right, Goethe, go for it.
Okay, so do I have to athletics over the wall, or can I tricky acrobatics over the wall?
You can attempt to do this as acrobatics at first. It might fade from you as it gets harder and harder, and it becomes truly raw muscle.
Okay, here we go.
No, nice.
Nice.
Jump, and Goethe, what does it look like?
I do several little flips and cartwheels on the ground, and then boom, over the wall.
Okay. You land over the wall. You hear a lot of people go, "Woo, yeah!" And then somebody go, "Quit while you're ahead, woo!" And,
that person was Tim, for sure.
And Goethe, you're going to be jumping over your next wall, DC 18.
Okay. I can use acrobatics again?
Yep. Goethe, before you roll,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have Vaskir. You are looking and you can see as there is a yellow weasel now running through the crowd, slowly, quickly picking things out and stuffing them in the kangaroo pouch. And Vaskir, you're realizing that you have an opportunity here. If you would like to describe how you want to, if you want to try to catch the weasel, you can. It's a DC 15 of any check that you describe.
So he would like to use Compelled Duel, which is a bonus action. So can he like look at the weasel and then just like yell at him, "Halt, creature! I demand satisfaction!" And then he's going to use Compelled Duel on him. And then he has to basically make a wisdom saving throw if he wants to move more than 30 feet away from me.
Oh my gosh.
This is amazing.
All right, sweet. You cry this out as Goethe, you make your jump.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh my goodness!
Goethe, what does it look like as you get over this wall?
Okay, this time I do a bunch of flips, I do some handstands, and then because I'm showing off for the crowd, and then I do a running bounce, like a floor routine at the Olympics, and then boom, just.
Oh my god!
You go over the wall. You hear as you're going over the wall. You know that now you've gone to where only maybe like 5% of people have gotten to.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you fly over, you're expecting, as you hear the sound, you hear everybody go, "Oh!" And as you land and turn, you see everyone's not looking at you at all, and they're looking at the weasel situation going on over here. As you see Vaskir hand out going, "Halt!" And you see the weasel, the kid going, "Ah! Ah!" and now seeming to scuttle around you in 30 feet, just sort of circling around you here. And Goethe, what do you want to do? And you both, Friar Tim and Vaskir, all have a moment where you're realizing like Vaskir has all of the attention going on here. This show is no longer a Goethe show, much to your... I'm sorry, Goethe, but it's not about you right now.
I can use this to my advantage.
Okay.
Apprehend him, Tim!
I will try to persuade him to come to me. Come, you've done a glorious job. Give me your hand, young man.
You're doing it again? Are you using command again?
No, this is just straight persuasion.
All right, great. This is a DC 15 check.
All
right.
I said come over here, you stupid. No.
You see as the kid looks at you and goes, "You're stupid." It just pulls his eye down at you, and then you watch as he runs, and you see supernaturally fast. He gets to the side of the crowd. The crowd's sort of backing away, but you can see that other badge wearers are starting to sort of try to close in and assist in this situation. But you see as your Compelled Duel, as you run, the costume sort of gets pulled back for a second, and the kid looks back. And Vaskir, you're realizing, Friar Tim, you're out for right now, but Vaskir, you're realizing that you have a chance here to try to do the pursuit of the weasel here. You successfully created this opportunity for yourself. And I'm going to have Vaskir, you describe what you're doing, and then I'm going to have Goethe talk about what they're doing.
So...
Tackle him! You won't listen to reason.
So... Oh god. So Vaskir has been practicing some sweet shield moves. So he's now, or he has been really good with his shield. So he's going to spin, and he's going to spin from a standing position down low, and he's going to try to use his shield to just take out the legs of this kid so that it falls down. So he falls down, and then he can pin him with one hand.
Okay, make an attack roll, DC 15. This is obviously not harming the kid, but you are, it sounds like to me, attacking.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Whiff.
You whiff with this attack, and you see as the kid nimbly dives above it. But Goethe, what are you doing? Everyone's watching, going, "Get the weasel, yeah!" And somebody goes, "Quit while you're ahead." Woo!
Friar Tim, stop saying that.
So I'm gonna start my acrobatics routine, but instead of leaping over the wall, I'm gonna leap onto the weasel.
Ooh.
And down to the ground.
Ooh.
All right,
Nice.
go for it.
So here's my acrobatics. I mean, I would not have made it over the wall, but I might surprise the weasel.
Yeah, let me look here. The DC for catching the weasel is quite difficult. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a check here to see if that weasel can get away from you. And this is trying to beat Vaskir's compelled duel DC.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the DC, Vaskir?
It is 14.
Right.
Ooh.
Goethe, even while you're not fully successful in this moment, you manage to sort of like pin a part of the weasel for a second, abandoning the competition itself for a moment. You have one success of 3.
Sweet.
Now I'll pitch it to Goethe. You've taken your action. You see as other people are excitedly watching as this hunt for the weasel is occurring. Tim or Vaskir, you can attempt to help do the next check.
Yeah, so how can I help Gerda? What would be a way? Well, I could try another command. I could say, freeze, which will make him much easier to pin, right? So I'm just going to say, freeze.
Okay.
And that's a 12.
Oh, nice.
You watch as the weasel says, no! And suddenly, Goethe, you feel as you've been sort of pinning a little portion of the weasel, that suddenly grease just covers the weasel entirely. And
Oh, man.
pops out as it dodges away from you and starts to get away. And Vaskir, you have one last chance here. If you fail, the weasel's going to get away from you.
Hey, yeah, okay, awesome. But hey, Sean CS, thank you so much. Donated the last bit of money so that we hit our goal to raise $100 for the International Rescue Committee.
Nice.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Right on.
Doing a good thing tonight.
That is a good feeling.
Yep, I'm about to do a good thing and also bring in a small criminal child to justice. Vaskir is going to use his intimidation.
Okay.
And he's going to put his shield away because he saw that didn't work. And he's going to go, a life of crime will never pay. Now get over here.
Okay.
Ooh.
Make your intimidation check.
It was a +6.
You make your intimidation, and the kid goes, what? And then just runs away. And you see as your compelled duel contains the kid for a moment. And then you watch as the one resistance, the legendary resistance to the costume itself, flares to life and the kid vanishes into the crowd.
That little scamp. Well, what a charming young fellow.
I've never been good with children.
As you all sort of brush yourself off and get up, you see a lot of the crowd is sort of bummed out, but the announcer has approached you, Goethe, and says, I saw what you did. Congratulations, you made it over the medium wall. Here's your prize, and hands you a healing potion.
Hey, awesome.
Nice.
Nice. Well, why stop now? I mean, you've gotten the prize.
Thought I'd quit while I was ahead.
Well,
That was your advice, Tim.
It's only for me. I mean, I have stature. I have a certain amount of respectability I must maintain, but Goethe
Is it because of the beard?
Yeah, well,
You didn't want to snag your beard on the ice wall?
it's very well trimmed. I doubt it would snag on anything.
Oh, well, you're going to leap over the ice wall then.
No. I would like to see you try, Goethe. I mean, you've been spectacular this entire time.
I mean,
You've been
admittedly,
incredible.
I would like to see that too. Audience, would you like to see Goethe try to get over the Iron Ice Wall? We'll just let you go there immediately. If you want to just give it a one good old college try. University, Niveau Maximum try.
All right. Why not? Yay!
Yes, well done. Goethe.
Do it.
Goethe.
Right.
Goethe.
So the DC for the Iron Ice Wall is 25.
Oh my goodness! Oh my.
I think so. You can attempt to do this. You can attempt to do this with acrobatics if you wanted to.
Wait, Vaskir wants to tell Goethe the stuff that he learned with the air conjuration when he studied the wall for weaknesses.
Aha.
All right, so I'm scrutinizing the wall. I'm planning my approach.
Okay, wait. Okay, let me try something here.
Yeah.
I think if Tim with his persuasive abilities, he's used to leading a flock. He's used to encouraging people. If he can get this entire crowd just amped, chanting Goethe, would it maybe give Goethe advantage?
I do like people chanting my name. It's nice.
I think so. Go for it, Tim.
Or maybe just lower the DC a little.
Yeah,
if I do it right, and maybe if Vaskir helps me rile the crowd up together, maybe I would have advantage of my performance. I don't know.
Vaskir will help.
Okay, you have advantage, Tim, to attempt to do this. You have to beat a DC 10. If you successfully do so, I will lower the DC by every 5 points above 10. I'll lower it by 1.
All right.
So if you get a 20, I'll lower it by 2. Otherwise, it'll be 15. I'll lower it by 1. By 3. So it'll go 1, 2, or 3, basically. So go for it.
People, the great Goethe Grimm will attempt what you have not seen all night, I dare say, for years. Traveling over the iron wall! Give him a hand! Goethe! See how I do.
Anybody that doesn't cheer, Vaskir is scanning the crowd for people who aren't into it, and he's going to intimidate them to be into it. That's how I'm helping.
All right. You see as people start to kind of lose it. The announcer is like, can I have my microphone back? And Tim, you quickly hand back the microphone. And you get a 15 on this check. You see that the crowd is starting to go a little crazy, but that means that you've successfully beat a 10, you've beat a 15. I'll lower it now by 2. So it is a DC of 23.
Sweet.
Goodness.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
You are looking and you
small
have
chance.
been told what is going on. You've been told by Vaskir. You know that you have an advantage on this check.
Oh, yes!
What do you need to get to beat this?
Well, since I put my expertise in acrobatics, because I went up to 2nd level as a rogue, I now have a +7 on my acrobatics. So to get a 23, I need to roll 16 or higher.
Okay.
Which means I have a 25% chance of succeeding.
I think it's better than that.
Whoa, yeah, because you have advantage.
With advantage, however.
Advantage, yeah.
Which that kind of translates to like a +5. So really I have like a 50-50 chance of succeeding.
Everybody gets really quiet after they finish cheering as they watch you, Goethe, wind up. And you're gonna roll and then describe how this goes.
Okay. I'm just gonna check in with my shadow real briefly. I'm like, okay, I have a plan. Listen closely. And then I just thieves hand can't with the shadow, which looks really weird for everyone else observing.
Everyone, you see the announcer go, will Goethe break under the pressure? Are they starting to go crazy?
Yep, yeah, we are. Here we go.
Yes!
Oh my God! No way!
I did.
What happens, Goethe? What did you get?
Okay, I got a 20. I didn't roll a 20. See, that includes my modifier.
Yeah,
No.
it's so close.
But
so
here's the thing. So I leap up and I'm like, and then my shadow goes, wah, and like rips off me and just heads over the wall while I fall back, unable to make it. But my shadow is on the other side of the wall.
An extremely loud, oh no! Everyone's so devastated. But you fall. They slide a pad underneath you. You land on the pad, and they go, "All right, fairgoers, this is a not successful day for Goethe. Who's next?" And they just move on without much other care in the world.
Well, you tried to fly to the sun.
I tried so hard that my shadow ripped off me.
It was a good try, little friend.
Where'd he go?
The shadow does hustle back to you.
Oh, I'm sure he'll turn up. Oh, look, there he is.
Right. You find
You did a good job, little buddy.
You find that this event has ended. You found that you actually spent a fair amount of time here, and you think that you don't have a ton of time, but you think you have time for maybe one or two more events potentially before you probably should be starting to go and get yourself ready for the gala.
Well, Friar Tim.
Yes, what is this sneak and ogre thing?
I thought you wanted to do the Battle of the Wits or something.
I did until I checked my intelligence ability score.
Until you checked your intelligence.
And then I realized I must have been thinking of someone else.
You meant to do the Battle of the Wits, but realized you were unarmed?
Yes, thank you. Well said. Oh, you're quite the character. What about the ogre? That sounds quite interesting. Sneak
Being eaten by an ogre? I don't know.
Oh, what about the dunk tank?
As you are walking through the fair, kind of debating what you want to do, potentially see the sneak and the ogre, Friar Tim, you actually hear some voices. Friar Tim! Friar Tim! Oh, quick, come on over here.
What is it? What? Who's speaking?
You can see what looks to be two gnomes are standing there. One is dressed in a really nice, fine tuxedo. The other one is wearing a bridal outfit. As both of them are calling you over, and you can see that they're standing at this kiosk. You can see that they're also, one of them is wearing the same religious emblem that your temple and your church has. As they're calling you over, you know that these are two people who attend your church and attend services and mass. And you see that this kiosk, there's a sign overhead that says, "Get Married Quick" by Elvish Pressed Leaf. And you can see this really unconscious individual just sort of sleeping nearby in a fully white outfit. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, Father Tim, oh, we're so lucky to see you. Could you help us get married today? Elvish Presley just totally went unconscious on us."
Well, of course, brother, sister, join hands.
You gotta put on the Elvish robe.
What? No, that wouldn't fit it.
Oh, no, you gotta put on the cloak of Elvish kind.
That seems counterintuitive.
No. Elvish Presley was wearing a cloak of Elvish kind. Yeah, if you just put this on here, and it's this magnificent white cloak with a red trim to it, and it has little stars at the base of it.
And these boots of Elvish kind, which are blue and made of leather.
Oh, we love that too. Please, Friar Tim.
Well, I guess I must. I could get used to this white robe.
Now stand right there while I draw a picture of you.
As you do this, you see as both of the gnomes, you know, as Curtis and Cleopatra are their names. And you can see that Cleopatra's like, "Oh, this is going to be fantastic." And Curtis says, ladies and gentlemen, a impromptu service by Friar Tim. Come gather around." And you see as people start to come and gather and watch what seems to be an impromptu marriage that you're about to conduct in this moment. And you see that this woman come over too, and she's holding a pen and paper. And you, Vaskir, and you, Gerta, and you, Friar Tim, recognize this woman. Her name is Janice J. Johnson, or JJJ, and she belongs to the Cambria Trumpet News, as she is here, just sort of watching and taking notes.
Well, this is a very auspicious day, Curtis. And what was her name again?
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra. Very auspicious day. As you know, the summer solstice, you could not pick a better day to be married. I ask you to take my hands.
Okay, yes, we'll take your hands. And this, I invite you, you can make a charisma check of some kind.
Yes.
You can see as Janice J. Johnson is also just writing, and you see that she's watching this, and you realize, Friar Tim, that this is an opportunity for you. If you do really well, that you'll probably be in the papers.
Well, so there's just straight charisma, or would persuasion be?
Yeah, a skill that's charisma based.
Here we go. Oh, look at that. 23. This is the marriage of the century.
It goes really well. To talk about kind of any of the highlights you would like.
I feel as though the magic of the evening, the magic of this particular day in the astrological calendar has created an aura of golden light around the entire thing, just coming from the love in the hearts of these two young people. And everyone around gets this frisson of joy and peace. It hardly matters what I say at this point. They are the magic.
You see as Cleopatra's full crying, Curtis is full crying. You see as Janice J. Johnson's just sort of like, nice, just kind of writes that down. And Vaskir and Goethe make a perception check.
Uh-huh.
If that frickin' weasel comes into my this time, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
We're too distracted by the excellent
There's
service.
Tears in my eyes, I can hardly see.
You are so distracted. In fact, this was such a good persuasion as people are listening and raptured. Friar Tim, you feel so successful that even Curtis and Cleopatra, who are like, oh, what a beautiful service. It was fantastic. And you hear as one of them goes, all right, let's exchange rings. And Curtis is like, I really can't find mine, but that doesn't really matter. And they just continue moving along.
That's right.
No rings found whatsoever.
That's right.
And you think for just a second, Vaskir and Goethe, that a little streak of yellow has vanished away from the scene, but that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring this marriage to a close. Everyone claps and applauds, and everyone goes, give it up for Friar Tim! Give it up for him!
It's not me, really. I'm just a vessel for this joy.
Such a great vessel, so much better than Elvis Presley. And you hear Elvis Presley over in the corner go, and then you see as nothing happens beyond that as he remains unconscious. And you successfully conduct the service.
It seems as though I can walk off with this lovely robe and boots as well. I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. I take them off and give them back to this drunk.
All right. You give them back to the drunk, and you conclude yet another small event across this fair. Is there any other event you would like to try to complete?
The ogre. Come, we must do the ogre, really.
All right.
All right.
I mean, I say we, I mean you, while I watch.
All right.
I see. You realize that I'm wearing plate armor from head to toe. I'm like a walking cowbell.
Yeah. As you all make your way over to the Sneak and Ogre, you round the street corner and you see a pathway that is lined with barrels flanking either side, and then they're just dotted in between. These barrels have their lids pulled off, and you can see as you're watching and you draw close, you can see the game in action. You see a ton of kids, some adults, some teenagers as well, all playing. And what it appears to be is that it's a game of red light, green light, as they make their way towards a massive person on stilts dressed in this big gross-looking ogre costume. And as the ogre turns around and looks away from everybody, they begin to move. They choose to either hide behind barrels, jump in barrels. And then as the ogre sings a little rhyme, the ogre says, I can't wait until I sate my appetite. For the first child I see, I'll cry with glee and eat them up in a single bite. And then the ogre turns, and anybody who's caught and spotted, not hiding behind or in a barrel, seems to be just politely removed from the
To be eaten later.
Put them in my pantry.
So you see as volunteers is sort of standing there and goes, are you all gonna play? We're taking the next set coming up here.
I'm too tall to hide behind a barrel, much less get in one, but I will watch.
Here.
Yes, you'd be perfect for this.
I will also compete.
Excellent, wonderful.
I'm going to watch weasels.
Rules of the game are pretty easy. You just have to be sneaky. You have to make sure you don't get caught. Make sure you're hiding well. And if the ogre catches you, we'll come and tap you on the shoulder. You just have to leave the arena. Additionally, if you win, we will give you a coupon to a free pie at the local pie shop.
I have a question.
Yes.
Those are the only rules?
Yes.
Okay.
And you see, as you say that this volunteer's like, what did I just do? But then shrugs their shoulders and wanders off. And you can see as you all gather together to get ready to compete in this, and you can see that there seems to be this young girl, a teenager age, standing nearby you all. She's wearing like almost monk's robes and clothing, and she looks at you, arms crossed, and goes, I win this a bunch of times. Good luck. I'm gonna beat you. First one there.
Okay.
And she puts out her hand. First one there. Otherwise, the other one. What should we say? How about we trade a magic item?
No.
Done.
Oh, all right. Good.
What? Nice. You have magic? I don't have any magic.
Yeah, what?
We're going to trade it.
I'm not gonna lose.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
All right.
Well then.
So in this competition, as you all set out onto this, what we're gonna do is you need to make your way along this path, and all I'll just require from you is 2 DC 14 stealth checks over the course of this competition. However, sorry, I'm gonna say it's 3. I misread this here, but you can try to push it and reduce one of them to only have to make 2, and this is you rushing. But then you are going to make these checks with disadvantage.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is a math game.
Is Goethe wearing anything shiny? Like, do you have anything like a sword or something?
I mean, I do, but I don't have it
Belt buckle?
drawn. Yeah.
Good.
You have like a shiny belt buckle?
Probably. I mean, it's probably pretty dull.
Is it
I
reflective?
haven't bought my brooch yet. I want a brooch. I don't have one yet. I guess it could be reflective.
Tim's gonna go borrow Elvis's elfin cloak and bring it to Goethe.
Nice.
Cloak of Elvis kind.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's really gonna help.
It'll help you be sneaky, won't it? That's the sort.
Is it actually magical?
This is a magical cloak. As you look and as you put it on, you can kind of get a sense of what it does. This does the opposite of the cloak of Elvis. This
interesting.
cloak gives you advantage on being seen. And persuasion and charisma checks.
Oh, wow.
But disadvantage on dexterity checks.
I think you should wear this, brother Tim.
It does suit you better.
It does indeed. It's a pity the Elvis fellow has it. Well, I'll bring it back.
Okay. So Veskir goes up to Goethe and he's gonna like, I think we should combine our forces for this challenge.
I am.
And he's gonna be like, may you show me your belt buckle real quick, sir?
Well, that seems very personal, but we are good friends, so here we go. Oh.
Yes, thank you. And Veskir is going to touch it, and because he's under the sign of the Sunbask as an action, I can touch a reflexive service and I can enter the object.
Oh my god!
If we are about to lose, you know what to do.
What the heck?
You disappear into the belt buckle. You're gone.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
You see in the reflection of the belt buckle, Veskir is there. He's like,
Okay.
How did he do that?
Magic, obviously.
I had no idea.
Okay. So the ogre turns, looking away. The rhyme begins, and I need you to start describing how you compete.
Okay. Well, I am going to hurry forward. And
you're hurrying.
If I start hearing the rhyme, but I'm like far away from where a barrel would be, I have a plan, and I think you'll like it. So I'm gonna make my check though. You said it's with disadvantage if I'm
disadvantage, DC 14, stealth check. Yep.
Okay. Let me set that up. All right, here we go. Do.
What?
No problem.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Good.
I'm just do, and he starts rhyming, and I'm like, run, into a barrel.
Wow.
Right. As you run, you vanish into a barrel. I'm gonna make a check for your competitor. As she sprints forward, run. She sees how fast you're going. She tries to keep up with you in this. And then you see as she's running that she actually gets further than you as you dive into a barrel, and she jumps trying to get into a barrel of her own. And you look back, she looks back at you being like, got him. And then the ogre says, gotcha. And you see as a person just comes over, taps her on the shoulder, and she goes, dang it, no! Oh, God. And she just wanders off and waits on the side, arms crossed.
Hubris.
Okay.
I thieves can't tour. Better luck next time.
And she just flips you the bird. And, she is going to just stand there on the side of the course. And now the ogre shifts away. Other people have vanished, and it is your turn again to make your stealth check.
Did I see anybody else going real fast?
You have other people there. One other person is hurried against you. This isn't necessarily a game of speed at this point, but you know that one other person is kind of at pace with you, and the rest are going a little bit slower. You only have to make one more check, and you can make that check without disadvantage if you would like.
All right, I am gonna make that check.
And before you make that check, I'm gonna ask Friar Tim to make a perception check.
Yes.
Oh no. All right, I'm gonna need Goethe, as Friar Tim is not successful in spotting the weasel. I'm gonna need Goethe to make for me a sleight of hand competitive check against the weasel.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, heck yeah.
Sweet. All right. Oh my god.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh my god.
Goethe, you watch as you are starting to go. The rhyme has begun and things seem to almost slow down as you then turn and see a yellow kid in a weasel outfit reaching into your pockets and grabbing at the same time the shiny belt buckle.
Yep.
And what do you do, Goethe, as you got a natural 20 on this competitive check?
I'm gonna take the clasp. I'm gonna undo the clasp on the cloak so that when the weasel pulls away, the cloak comes off.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try and catch the weasel. I'm gonna catch the weasel's cloak.
Wait, if I'm in the belt buckle, am I allowed to do something?
Yeah.
So I think he would care, Veskir would care so much more about capturing the weasel. So he's gonna just pop out and then try to grab the kid.
All right. So the nat 20 is going to be a success. So now it's Veskir's time. Veskir, this is your chance. You need to give me a DC 15 of any sort of check that you're attempting to make here. You will have advantage because you are surprising the weasel in this situation.
Nice.
Okay, this is gonna be a hug, so it's gonna be a DC 15 hug check.
This is the second of 3 checks. So if you succeed in this, you only will need to make one more check. Diving forward, Veskir, you grab hold of the weasel, getting a hold of it, and Goethe, you see an opportunity here. Goethe, you can make the final check if you want to. You can attempt to catch the weasel, or you could attempt, and it will be harder to do to try to remove the costume.
I do want to try and remove the costume.
Okay.
What kind of check would that be? Would that be
this will be a DC 20 check of any choice of your choosing. It's just 5 higher than catching the weasel itself.
Can I do that as a stealth check, or would it be a sleight of hand check?
I would invite a sleight of hand. I can't see stealth unless you describe it in some crazy way, but it seems unlikely at this point.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something to him just not realizing that he doesn't have the costume.
Right.
Because I've just slipped it away from him.
I'm in. Do a step. Okay. Yeah, I'm in. I can see how this could go, and I'm in for it.
All right.
DC 20.
Here we go. Yeah.
Nice. God, 25. Unbelievable.
You roll this 25, and Goethe, what does it look like when you get this costume?
I immediately put it on, obviously.
All right. You watch Friar Tim, this is all happening in a blur. And so much is happening very, very quickly here. But you see as the little kid has reached forward, maybe the hubris of this weasel costume has finally gotten nearby you. And you see as suddenly Vaskier, you dive out as Gerta, you grab the weasel's wrist. Vaskier, you tag team, just totally grab hold of this kid. And in the same instance, you watch as Vaskier, the costume is off of the kid. You see as the kid rolls to the ground. Vaskier, you have caught the kid, and you, Gerta, have the costume now. And you hear, "I will bite." And you see as a volunteer comes over and taps both of you on the shoulder, taps the weasel on the shoulder and says, "Sorry, you're out of this competition. You need to leave, please. You've been caught." And then you see as the volunteer's face dawns with recognition. As they're like, "What?
Bye."
Vaskir's like, "We caught the weasel."
Vaskier, you say, "We caught the weasel," as you see the volunteer go, "The weasel!" And Gerta vanishing out of the way. And you are gone. You've lost this competition. And as you race, you all kind of are sorting out this situation. But Gerta, you're gone for now. So you've escaped. And we'll deal with that in a moment. As Vaskier and Friar Tim, you are dealing with, how do you want to deal with, you have the weasel in your hands?
So, you know, I don't know if the kid is cold right now or something. Vaskir's going to take off his cloak and like wrap it around the kid, and he's going to give him a little pep talk. I know you thought that your time as the weasel was a lot of fun, but you know what's more fun? Joining a paladin order and living a life as an enforcer of the law. Stopping those that would steal candy, kids like you, that's having mischievous fun.
What a pitch.
Of course, I'll do it. Sign me up. And you are going to be successful in wooing this kid to your cause.
Oh, excellent. Well, now I have a squire. I tell him where to go, where you can find the order, and I give him my name and assign I put like my signature against a piece of paper, and then I hand this to the kid, and I say, "Sign up with the headmaster there, and I'll see you shortly."
Okay, cool. As you say this, you wrap this up. Gerta, you're hidden away, but you all eventually find your way back together for a moment. You gather just a couple blocks away from Niveau Maximum, and there's a lull in the festival. Merchants are restocking their wares, and bakers and snack makers are resting and waiting, and a bell tolls. And you are reminded that the grand opening to the gala is not very far away. You'll have to get yourselves ready soon. Just then, something odd happens. A pair of identical elderly men in their late 70s pass by you. Both are wearing matching purple coats and mischievous smiles. "We're getting into trouble," you hear them say in a sing-songy voice as they pass by you. Your eyes follow them down an alleyway, and they suddenly disappear, it seems, leaving behind the faint after effects of magic. Where the twins once were, you see the assistant of Niveau Maximum, who you were assigned to find earlier, dressed in the silver and blue uniform, and they are speaking to hooded figures. Immediately, you recognize the man as the one that Curator Traber was looking for. And eavesdropping, you can hear them for but a moment conspiring. Yes, some of the adventurers may have ruined the plan, but it's not too late to change them. Just make sure your people lure Traber into the exhibit, and we'll make sure that she doesn't leave alive. The assistant says as he passes a purse over to the figures. And then you hear, "The weasel!" As they turn, you see as the figure, one of the figures, the hooded figures, is looking at you all and has spotted you, Gerta. And their eyes meet yours, and they whisper "the weasel" to the assistant, and turning with a resigned look, you hear the assistant say, "Make sure they didn't see anything or hear anything," before moving quickly away, and blades are drawn. And I think this is where we'll go to a break.
Nice.
Nice.
All right,
Wow,
so
that was fun.
we'll be back in about 10 minutes. So see you then.
Don't go away.
Well, hello there. Of course you came to the grand dwarven city of Digbrand to see me. Ma belle Pebblegrit, tale extraordinaire to kings, queens, heroes, and legends. Have you gazed upon my latest masterpieces? Yes, this one for you. Don't you see how it calls to you, speaks your name? You are gorgeous, darling. The colors, the line work, the gods weep in the presence of your beauty. No one has looked more stunning in a pebble grit design. Please, I cannot bear to gaze upon your perfection for too long. You can find this mesmerizing merch at inkinliar.com. Go and unleash your fabulosity today and help support Inkinliar. Do stop by my shop again. You simply must tell me about all that adventuring thing. Well, ta-ta.
And we're back. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the last part of this 2-second episode of the one-shot, two-shot, maybe three-shot Aurora adventure. Aurora is a game supplement for the Forgotten, or not for the Forgotten Realms necessarily, but for D&D in general, and all about stars and constellations and the power thereof. Stephen is going to remind us about a giveaway, and then we're going to get back to the action. Take it away, Stephen.
Yeah, we have a Phoenix Dice giveaway. It's the one that you're probably familiar with, whereby you can type in !ticket in the chat, and that'll automatically enter you for a chance to win the Phoenix Dice set of dice and a tray based on what they have in stock. So make sure you do that, and we'll announce the winner right at the end of the show.
Awesome. All right, Jake, ready to go?
So, as we come back, you find yourselves now, the map has changed. You are standing in an alleyway. At the far end of this alleyway, you can see the assistant turning and sprinting away from you. Goethe, you have at this point successfully put on the Weasel's costume. This gives you the abilities, the Cape of the Mountain Bank, so you have a bonus action, Misty Step. You can also, once as a reaction, use a blur effect to cause me to roll with disadvantage, and you can take a dash action as an additional dash action, and you have at-will spider climb. It's a very powerful magical item.
Here we go.
As you watch the assistant running away, you can see the figures, the hooded figures turning, blades drawn. And I'm going to have us all roll initiative as you could hear the sounds of them stepping forward and stepping above you on the rooftops surrounding you.
Yikes.
You can see that there looks to be 4 of them.
Is one of them bigger and scarier than the others?
Yes, one looks to be a pugilist, more of a boxing individual, and then the others, 2 seem to be up on the rooftops, and they wield crossbows, and then one has a blade. All right, so Vaskir got 11.
Oh, sorry.
Got a 9.
I gotta click on myself, and boom. What'd I get?
I don't see yet.
Jake, we have a question from chat. Is the Stargazer out now, or is it on Kickstarter being fulfilled?
Yeah. Virtua Adept, it is been kickstarted, so you can find it actually now on DriveThruRPG if you were hoping to get your hands on it. The Kickstarter has concluded at this point. We're in our fulfillment phase, so yeah, you can go and check that out. I believe that answers your question.
Let's see if I can find a link, and I'll...
Oh, we just put the link in chat.
Excellent.
All right. So, Friar Tim, you are going last with a 2, it appears. And as you all are getting ready, you see as one of the bandits steps forward and says, all right, time to silence some eavesdroppers. And the bandit one strides forward and gets up nearby you, Friar Tim, and takes an attack at you.
Really?
Swinging a sword against you. Does a 16 hit you?
It does.
7 points of damage as the blade slices across you.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Friar Tim, you get cut as now it's Vaskir's turn. Gerta, you're going to be coming up shortly.
Okay.
Vaskir sees the bandit attack his friend, Friar Tim. He's going to charge straight up there. And he's going to... oh, sorry. I'm also a little bit sick. Anyway, he's going to attack.
Vaskir, go for it.
14. Does that 14 hit?
14 will, I believe, hit a bandit. Yeah. Let me just confirm really quick. 14 does hit, yes.
All right, that's going to be 8 bludgeoning damage. Bonus action with his shield. He's going to do the low sweeping move again and try to take out his legs.
Okay.
He's going to try to knock him prone with a shove.
The shove. Wonderful. With a 19, do I do a competitive attack against you? Or
Yeah, competitive athletics or
you
acrobatics.
shove the bandit over. The bandit falls over, stumbling back, and is knocked prone.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Okay. After Vaskir, you go. You can hear as the bandit goes, Gertrude, how about? And you see as was stepping over one of the rooftops. You see as Gertrude, one of the other bandits, takes aim with a crossbow and shoots directly at you, Vaskir. Does an 11 hit you?
Nope.
The crossbow bounces off, deflecting into the side of the wood of the house, and you see as the assistant has vanished and is sprinting away from you all and is getting away. You think that you'll have an opportunity to try to chase down this assistant, but it will take a moment here. As that bandit goes, you'll then have one other bandit as another bandit strides forward on top of the roofs and takes a shot at you, Gerta, for a natural 20.
Oh my
shoots.
goodness.
I'm going to use that blurring effect to make you re-roll.
Okay, for a 19.
Oh.
Okay, well, at least it's not a crit then.
Not a critical hit. As you watch as your costume seems to sort of shift and blur for a moment, and you see as the bullet is supposed to find its mark, just grazes you instead, dealing 5 points of damage to Gerta.
The weasel.
That was a good investment.
All right.
Otherwise, that
Gerta,
probably would have killed me.
it's your turn, Gerta.
Glad you're wearing that kid's onesie.
Yeah, seriously.
Little Pikachu onesie.
Okay, well, okay, so this guy is adjacent to my friends, but he's on the ground. This guy's not adjacent to my friends. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to 5, 10, 15. This is me now running on the wall.
Okay.
I've stabbed that guy with my short sword.
Awesome. Bandit 1?
Yeah, this one right here.
Awesome. You have advantage on this attack. They are prone.
Yep. Just gotta make that happen. Okay, here we go. Oh, bad news, bandit.
Oh, nice.
So I did 15 damage.
Oh my god. The bandit, you see as you just stab down the bandit, it falls crumbling to the ground and has been killed.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I'm continuing to run up the wall onto the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably 25. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm gonna, you said I could do a free dash action?
Correct.
Okay, so that's 5, and I think I can now jump. I'm gonna jump to this next roof.
Okay. Gerta, you are taking off, already sprinting, jumping, and
Can I
racing.
do this with acrobatics?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so yeah, that's probably sufficient to get me to the next roof.
You leap and dive, and you are making your way along. And next up is going to be Friar Tim.
Well, I can also cunning action and do a dash as well.
Okay.
So maybe I should just run after the assistant. But then again, I don't want to leave you all to die.
We got this. Don't worry.
All right. Well, I'm gonna run up this way. Do I see the assistant? I have another 25 feet of movement.
In the distance, sprinting along. You'll be able to pursue and hunt the assistant if you would like.
Okay.
Hunt down evil, Goethe.
Okay.
How high is this roof that Bandit 4 is on?
This roof is 15 feet high.
Okay. I believe that what Tim is going to do is cast a spell that he has from his feet, from Tasha's, which is Fey Touched, which gives him a first level enchantment spell and a Misty Step per day.
Yeah.
And he's going to do a Dissonant Whispers on this person, which is a 12 is the DC.
Okay.
And
they have a +0.
okay.
They got a 13. Unlucky in these situations.
Well, it does do some damage, though. I think they take
Awesome.
half of this.
Okay. So
Which
5
is-
points of damage as
Yeah.
Dissonant Whispers. As they hear your voice beginning to sort of just whisper in your ears.
Okay, and I'm going to move my self. I'm going to go 10, 15, 20, 25. I want to get out of range of that both of the archers so they can't see me. I'm hiding under the gables right here. Whoop.
Oh, yeah, where do you want to... You move yourself here. As you go and begin to hide, the final bandit strides forward, fists out, and goes right up to you, Vaskir, and says, "Hunting justice, huh? I watched you fail at the Iron Ice Wall. I'll watch you fall here." And they goes in and takes an attack. And immediately just punches. You raise up your shield, fist flies away from you and misses, and the bandit turns and goes, "Oh, shoot. Okay. All right.
My turn.
Vaskir, it's your turn.
Excellent. Attack with the Warhammer. 14 hit.
14 does hit.
Just for style, let's just smite this guy also. So it's going to be an additional 2d8.
Oof.
So 8 more damage.
8 plus what was the damage of the Warhammer?
Yeah, it didn't do the calculation.
Oh, it didn't do the calculation? Okay. 8 plus 6, 14.
Oh my god. You clobber through this bandit, and the bandit crumples to the ground unconscious as well.
Nice.
Okay. You see as the other two bandits go, "Jimmy, no!" And you can see as both of them on the roof begin to start to back away. And you are all seasoned adventurers. You think that if a well-timed or well-placed sort of intimidation of some kind might just drive these two away. They're not here to fight to the death.
It's time for Elvish Priestley
And
to.
Yes.
It's Goethe's turn currently.
Okay. I did a poll in the chat to see if I should stay and help or if I should just go after the guy. But now it looks like, they're gonna chase the bandits off all on their own. So
Go.
all right, well, let's hold on one second. So my short bow's range is 80 feet. I probably didn't get more than 80 feet away, so I'm just gonna shoot one of them with my short bow before I go.
Yeah, go for it.
They're like, where did that gnome go?
One of your bolts shoots up, and you see as Gertrude turns, and the arrow goes right into the collarbone of Gertrude. The weasel, no! And, okay,
and then I go running after the assistant.
And you vanish. So now at this point, Gertrude, you've left the scene.
Okay.
You will not be participating back in this.
Okay. Okay.
As Gertrude, you've left. You see as Gertrude turns, is looking around for whoever attacked, and it sees only one target. As both of these bandits are going to turn and shoot at you, Vaskir, for their turns.
All right.
The first one, natural ones, as you see as they take aim, and you hear the snap of the string on their crossbow, and they fail as they fail and missing you. The second one takes a shot, and it again bounces off of your armor. You and your heavy armor blocking away both attacks in this case.
Yes.
All right, and then it's Tim's turn.
Tim has... It seems so undignified to use a crossbow when you're a priest. Just doesn't seem right, so he's not going to do that. But he is going to...
Holy bolt of holiness?
Yeah, he's going to step out and, you know, when it is customary, when one does a wedding ceremony, to give an offering, and it was an appropriate offering for the robe of priestliness, to remain with me. This is fair and reasonable. I think all parties involved would agree. It also suits me well and helps with my intimidation, in which I say, Gertrude, we know your name. Don't make any felonies here or you will be in jail, because we know where to find you.
Make an intimidation check.
Right. Is it advantage with the priestly robe?
No.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah, because
Elvis
priestly robe.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course it is.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't realize what robe you were talking about. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's a customary. Oh.
Still didn't roll super well.
It's because I'm injured and I'm not very intimidating when I'm bleeding onto my priestly robe.
You say these things and you don't feel that you're really getting to them.
You should have said something about matching an arrow with the wound in her shoulder.
That's right. Right.
Excuse me, if this arrow fits, then you are the criminal.
Tim, is there anything else you wanted to do? You call out to Gertrude and you are not successful as Gertrude says, yeah, right. And you manage to kind of still hunker down, but you have your turn still. You were attempting here, but you could do a little bit more if you like.
Okay, well, I have other tricks up my sleeves like this. And I call down Radiant Blast on Gertrude. Well, actually, I can't see Gertrude. Is this Gertrude over here?
No, that's Jasmine.
Yeah, Jasmine's going to take a little Sacred Flame.
All right.
Because I can do that. And since I don't have that one prepped, so I'm just going to roll a 20. And then I have, my what is
that?
That
hits successfully.
Okay.
As the flame burns down. And then you'll do your 1d8 damage.
1d8, 3.
All right.
3 damage.
You can see as you see as they're like, and the radiant fire falls down upon them. They begin to back away. Vaskir, it's your turn.
I do back around the corner again because I don't want to get
perfect.
Vaskir's going to look at Gertrude. He's going to attempt an intimidation roll. He's going to try to set her straight onto a path of the redeemed.
Okay.
Maybe should have surrendered, Gertrude.
Oh my God.
Come down here and do more crimes. Wait, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, that's not what I meant to say. Rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
Yeah. What he said.
You call out to them. You find that your voice and your words are falling on deaf ears.
Gertrude, come back, Gertrude. Oh God,
Gertrude.
I was just so impressed with myself. I can't think of anything else to say.
Vaskir, as you were calling out this, you make this speech of getting on the right path, to stop doing crime, and then you look up, and Gertrude just left. Like, it was just fully silent, and then you hear Jasmine from the other side just call out, "We're done with you. We're not gonna fight you anymore. You just keep doing you." And
wait, I'm not done with my speech.
and you realize they've both left, but
not that intimidating, just real dangerous.
You, in your intimidation, and you, Friar Tim, see as you're standing there that the only other person like directly nearby, as you two have been trying to do this heroic speech making, you can see is Janice J. Jameson is standing in an alleyway nearby with one of her notebooks and is just writing all of this down and watching.
Yeah.
what's going on.
Nice.
I'm going to say, that's right. You saw how we scared them off. That's how we do it.
Oh, I'll write something in the paper.
Boy.
Oh, watch out. There's a spider right next to your elbow.
Damn spider, I'll catch you. And she goes after the spider. All right. You have a chance here to now join in the chase of the attendant.
Of course, it's worthwhile looking for papers on these people.
Okay.
These two. I just want to see if they have any instructions, anything like that that might be incriminating.
You get your hands on what looks to be some sort of like cultish symbol and that bag of gold. As you see 100 gold pieces or so, about that weight.
Nice.
That would make a nice donation.
Yeah.
Right, let's carry on.
Awesome. You both join the chase. Now, Goethe's already started it, and Goethe's wearing the costume of the weasel, which is just insane. Like, this is going to be wild for me to have you with the weasel. But for the rest of you, what I'm going to have you all do is you begin to chase your way and chase this attendant. And this will just be a couple of checks. Goethe, you will automatically be able to succeed your first check. No big deal. You will have the costume of the weasel. You're just so quick, so agile that this chase is very much in your favor. But I want to check for the other two, just one check each, to see how the rest of this chase goes as you begin to race off after Goethe and the attendant. And so if I would ask, I'm going to first have Friar Tim, you begin running and racing along here. And I'm going to roll a D6 and just see what happens for you that you have to overcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim doesn't really run. He hurries in a dignified way.
Perfect. Tim, you are not really running. You are going a little bit slower. It's going to maybe take you some time to catch up here, but you see in front of you an opportunity to draw closer by leaping across various carts, and you refuse to do so. No. You politely walk around them, and you avoid any harm that you would have had to do, though you do stumble for just a second with your check, but continue along. But Vaskir, you see an opportunity. You are chasing down a criminal here. You're chasing down this attendant, this assistant. And Vaskir, as you are sprinting, I'm going to roll a d6 to see what you must overcome. You see as ahead of you a blur of yellow running across the rooftops, and you see as the assistant, now that you're starting to catch up, even moving pretty quickly in your plate armor, you see as the assistant launches a gust of air, leaps up onto the same rooftop, and begins to bound from side to side, and you see an opportunity, Vaskir, if you would like, to try to break a bunch of banners and festival decorations to try to slow down this assistant.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is an attack check of an AC against 13.
Okay.
Ooh,
okay.
Nice.
16.
What does it look like? How do you do this? How do you want to make this look?
Yeah, so I think Vaskir, he's been, really practicing with his shield, and just something in his mind like clicks together. He looks at his warhammer and he looks at his shield, and he decides that the shield is would be better to try to cut some of these strings. So he takes it and he just hurls it, having it spin like end over end into the lines.
Perfect. It swirls end over end and cuts into the lines. You watch as the lines snap, twang, and wrap around the attendant. The attendant, you can see, has been sprinting away from the weasel, who's been quickly catching up. Goethe has been quickly catching up. And as the binding wraps around the attendant's legs, they stumble, flip, and fall off of the rooftop into the square ahead of you. You all, in your own time, gather and begin to approach this square. And I'm going to grab you all here and add you all into the next map. As you arrive into this square, you see each of you gathering there. Goethe, you are up on the rooftop. Friar Tim, you are behind. And Vaskir, you're catching up. You can see the attendant laying across from you on the fountain, covered in various festival things and banners as they're trying to get themselves free. You can see as the bells of Niveau Maximum in the clock tower continue to ring, and you know that time is getting closer to this gala. And as you look, you can see the assistant shift and look at you. You're too late. the assistant calls and throws an onyx stone statue of an animal on the ground.
Boy.
Everything is already in place. Only I can stop it. Stop chasing me. And as you hear these words, you see that the attendant isn't really talking to you, but to the other people in the audience, in the crowd around you. At this time, you see as they are watching with concern, and the assistant locks eyes with each of you, and a wry smile stretches across his face as he says, "People of Cambria, these ne'er-do-wells are trying to assault a member of Niveau Maximum." Oh! And you see, and the rest of the audience didn't notice this in all of this chaos, but you see that stone statue expand suddenly, magically, in a puff of smoke. And out, bounding from it, you hear a terrible roar as an umbral, translucent tiger. Its body black as the void, but with only small pinpoints of lights like stars scattered in strange constellations around it, bursts from that smoke from where that statue was and begins to charge directly towards you.
That's not good.
Okay. I'm going to ask one last time for an initiative check.
Sounds about right.
Okay. Ooh. Kim got an 8.
Oh, I totally closed my character sheet. Hold on.
Baskier got a 7.
I got to open up my character sheet again.
As you are doing this, you can see as the assistant's looking around, Tim, you are just arriving to this, and you can see, all of you, that this is you're in a precarious position for a moment, as the crowd seems to be watching the assistant, and the assistant is going to make a persuasion check to try to convince the crowd that you are the wrongdoers in this situation. Any one of you may attempt to compete against the assistant in this situation, but you can only do it once each. So who would like to, if anybody, try to compete and against a opposed persuasion check?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go for it, Tim.
All right.
Tim, you are wearing Elvish Pressed Leaf's cloak, so you have advantage on these checks.
Oh, yeah. People, listen. We can corroborate everything with the word of J.J. Abrams here, who has watched everything and knows this is a fraudster who has conspired against the life.
J.J. Abrams. Why not? Why not?
Of the mistress of Mega Church. What's it called again?
I'm sorry.
Niveau Maximum. The prison where they keep villains.
Lens flare.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna make my check first, and then you'll see what your DC.
Shoot.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. I have to beat a 25.
Yes.
In your persuasion check. This assistant is going to be making this check. This check, they are making a deception check opposed against you, and this assistant is not looking good. They have to get a nat 20 on this, and they fail. So you are immediately starting to win the crowd and kind of be like, "Yeah, J.J. Abrams. Yeah, I mean, like, totally. This makes sense. So maybe these adventurers are the right people." And then they're seeming to kind of like get on your side. You think that you're going to continue to compete about this, a little bit here, but the tiger does not care. Cortez, I see you rolled in a 10 on your initiative. The tiger bounds forward, and as it bounds forward, you see as the tiger, not really noticing fully you, the weasel, in this situation. Instead, you see as 3 of the stars in its body all shoot out of it like shooting stars, and all wrap around, and 2 of them smash into Vaskier, and 1 of them smashes into Tim as magic missiles.
Oh man.
Ouch.
As they go, Vaskier, you take 8 points of damage, and Tim, you take 4. As the magic missiles hit all 3 of their marks, and it bounds towards you. And it will close ranks and draw up next to Vaskier here.
Ooh.
Okay. Vaskir, as it does this, make a strength saving throw, DC 13, Vaskir, as it pounces on you.
Oh, nat 20. 22.
Oh my God! You catch this tiger against your shield as you're holding it against you, and you manage to shove it off, and it scatters across the ground, snarling in your direction. And that is its turn. After this, it is going to be Goethe's turn, and then Tim, you're coming up. Vaskir, you're after that.
Okay, well, Goethe, who is up on this roof, is going to loose an arrow at that tiger. Okay. So here we go. Take character sheet. And I don't have advantage, unless the tiger doesn't know I'm there. Am I hidden?
The tiger doesn't know you're there yet.
All right, so I do technically have advantage. All right, cool.
Go for it.
Here we go.
Ooh,
all right.
God.
8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. Just to check, you are a rogue. Do you have sneak attack?
That's including the sneak attack.
8 points of damage, including the sneak attack. Great, wonderful.
I rolled pretty low.
Your arrow flies forward, piercing into the tiger. It snarls in pain, looking around, and you see as some of the audience is going to make a perception check to try to notice you. They have to get a DC 15 to notice the weasel. You hear as somebody goes, "The weasel!" And you see as people start to lose their minds and look in your direction. And Goethe, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Goethe, you are standing there. Now you'll still be able to take actions, but your next set might be will be with disadvantage as you watch as suddenly as you're standing on that roof, as somebody goes, "The weasel!" Goethe, unmistakably you hear, "The weasel!" And you see as suddenly 4 kids dive out of the shadows surrounding you and grabbing hold of your leg and beginning to try to pin you. As you hear Willie's voice in the distance going, "Catch the weasel!"
I knew I was right to trust in them.
All right, Goethe, after you've gone, it is.
I have more to do though.
Oh, of course. My apologies.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do that Cloak of the Mountebank teleport to get away from there.
Perfect, yeah. All right.
So they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Whoop." And a poof
Wonderful.
of smoke. You said it's basically like Misty Step, and that's
30 feet.
30 feet? Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. I can't quite get to that other rooftop over there, so I'm going to go northward here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Great.
There. And then I'm going to use my cunning action. No, I used the bonus action to teleport. So we're good.
Cool.
And I'm just going to hunker down.
You hear the of all the kids as they've missed their tackle, and you hear Willie going, "They don't have the teleport ability anymore. Keep it going." All right. As you do that, the attendant is going to go. The attendant is going to turn, kind of looking around, panicked at what's going on, and then cast a spell, and you see as 3 magic missiles, sorry, come out of the attendant's hand and launch up towards one to you, Goethe, and 2 at Vaskir.
Oh, bring it on.
Okay. Goethe, you take 4 points of damage, and Vaskir, you take 10 points of damage.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
As the magic missiles pummel into you, and the attendant goes, "You see? They're working with a weasel! They're trying to stop us! You gotta help me!" And it is going to now be Tim's turn, and then Vaskir's turn.
Oh my God. So, whoosh. Okay. Oh wait. Okay. Sorry. He just got hurt, right? Yes. I'm going to do a thing.
And he did.
Which is fold space.
What?
It's a reaction for the planar domain at second level. I can use one of my channeled divinities to fold space and move Vaskir.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh, awesome.
Here.
Vaskir.
Oh, awesome.
What does it look like, Tim?
There's a flash of light, and he's gone, and a flash of light, and he's there.
As the flash of light happens, you can see as your temple sigil flares around the entirety of Vaskier for a moment, and everyone goes, oh, that's Friar Tim, the guy who did the marriage earlier. Oh. And everyone's losing their mind, and then somebody goes, quit while you're ahead. Woo.
It's that guy.
Actually, very good idea. Bonus action, Sanctuary on myself.
So I just want to check, was that full space-time, was that a reaction?
It is. It's a reaction.
Okay, so
when someone's hurt, one of my allies is hurt, I can do that for that.
Awesome. Vaskier, you arrive right next to the assistant, and now, Tim, it's actually your full turn. You have your full turn.
Right.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so
that wasn't the action on Tim's turn.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So I've only got 6 hit points left, so I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself.
Wonderful.
That's probably a good idea.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on the assistant. Then I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself.
Nice.
So let's go with the Sacred Flame.
I'll make a dexterity saving throw against you.
Oh, that's how it works. Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, good.
DC what again?
12.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. The assistant just barely dives, sort of shifting their way out of the way and dodging your Sacred Flame.
Okay, now I go Sanctuary.
Wonderful.
And I take a little cover here.
Okay.
And I don't want any more magic missiles. And so if he can't see me, he can't hit me.
All right. Vaskier, you arrive, the symbol of the Temple of the Eternal Sun behind you, and you are watching.
So Vaskier just got teleported, and he's like, man, I sure wish Datura was here.
And, and suddenly, out of nowhere, Datura, what is your entry statement? Welcome, by the way. Is there and think about it as Vaskier's turn goes. But
amazing.
Dramatic entrance here.
While I fix the zoo.
You're muted.
You're muted, Rhiannon.
Yeah, I'm having trouble signing into Roll20, so I'm just going to be like, I don't know where we are, but
yeah,
I'm here to help.
I'll set the scene, Datura.
Okay.
As you have arrived, you had a day, and you actually were part of the fair. You were participating in other parts of this Twilight Faire, having a good time. You actually won the brain battle event.
Nah.
And then,
nice.
As you arrive, you heard there was a commotion. They heard that there was a fight. You heard that Friar Tim, who is wearing an elvish Prestley robe, has conducted a wedding and is now apparently trying to gather people together as they're fighting a member of Niveau Maximum, who, if you recall, the curator Leah Traber has offered you a potential position there. You race along, and as you arrive, you can position yourself anywhere in the scene, but you can see a crowd watching as Tim, Vaskier, and Gerta, wearing a weird yellow Pikachu weasel costume, are fighting against the Niveau Maximum assistant and a tiger of umbral black with stars in its body. And as you arrive here, you can see as the crowd is sort of watching this going on, and you've heard some initial statements, and you kind of are picking up that this assistant is up to no good, and that your friends have a pretty good reason as to why they're doing what they're doing here. So, Datura, as you are arriving, and feel free to just say anything here, even if you're not in Roll20, and we'll just kind of like fill in the gaps.
Okay.
Right? I got your back on this.
Sorry about that.
So as you arrive, what happens?
So she was originally sort of like pushing through the crowd a little bit. She's starting to hear it. She's listening, and then she's like, all right, I know enough so that I need to like get on this and figure out exactly what's going on. So she's gonna jump like over people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because being the satyr sense, she's got the big like sort of, she looks just normally like very hippie, and then like boing, like she can go. So she's gonna try to like get in like behind her friends if she can.
Yeah. You bound, and you kind of are now positioned yourself, kind of being. They're surrounding you in a kind of a triangle situation here. Goethe's up on a roof. Vasky, you're standing there by the assistant, and you've arrived here. And I'm going to have you just take a moment, kind of take in what's going on here. But I'm going to have Vaskier go, and then I'm going to have you go. So you are somewhat nearby the tiger, somewhat nearby the assistant. You have options here. But one thing you also noticed, Datura, is that one, this tiger is big, it's mighty looking, it's powerful, and your friends are all pretty beat up, it appears.
We are. Yeah, we are.
Vaskier, Vaskier, what would you like to do?
Vaskier looks at the attendant. Okay, for glory, I can't let ne'er-do-wells get away. So he's going to attack with the Warhammer.
Okay.
15 to hit.
15 does successfully hit this assistant.
Excellent.
Knock her
So
down.
that is going to be 5, and then yeah, he's going to try to shove her down with a shield.
All right.
19 athletics.
As you, with a 19 athletics, I'll make my competition against you with an 8. You smash into this assistant. You can hear as he just sort of like, he crumbles away from you as you deal 5 points of damage to the assistant. The assistant then falls to the ground and has been knocked prone and is shouting, "Help, crowd! Help! These ne'er-do-wells, these bandits are trying to attack me!" And as they call out, Vaskier, anything else you would like to do?
Oh, yes, he's going to try to intimidate the crowd. He's going to appeal to the crowd. He's going to be like, "Crowd, you know me. Is it possible for me to do any wrong? Even when I attack a child with a shield, did that
really good
child
point,
not
actually.
deserve it?"
Okay. you call this out. You have to make for me. I'm going to make a opposed a deception check against your, if you want, intimidation check in this case.
Okay, yep.
Okay, I'm going to try to beat a 20. The assistant,
Dirty
because
20.
you've attacked them. They currently don't have the crowd on their side, so they're just rolling straight. So I'm going to roll.
Oh, so close.
Oh, that was super close.
19.
I mean, do they have a bonus?
Let me check to make sure and see if they have a bonus as the assistant cries out, "Help! Oh, they're attacking me!" They seem to just sort of crumble away from you, and they need to they have a +1. It is,
Oh my God.
Whoa,
it's
a tie.
even.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. So,
Funny thing.
little known rule. Apparently, in 5th edition, when you tie, it means the status quo is maintained.
Ah. Okay.
You don't succeed, you don't fail, nothing
Interesting.
bad happens.
I'm gonna just
And
say,
but like there's a certain gray area. So like you as a DM can go whatever direction you want with it.
yeah.
I want to see what happens. I'm so excited.
As you both say this, there's like a pause, and you hear the tiger go, "Meow." And then you see as some people are like, what is going on? And everyone's sort of confused, and there's just the status quo, because you're talking about like hitting kids with shields, which kind of feels a little weird and uncertain. And then the assistant sort of calling out to things. And Datura, as you're standing there, it strikes you for a moment that you actually, over the course of this day, have been given a Niveau Maximum uniform.
Ooh.
Oh.
That is the position of power that you now find yourself in. And Datura, I want to ask you, I know you're coming in here, you're kind of getting a sense of what's going on, but how do you want to sway this crowd?
So she's definitely going to sort of, I think, not step in to sort of the line of fire.
Yeah.
But to sort of get in close and say, what is going on here? And it's not entirely like sort of with authority yet, but she's trying.
Perfect. I'm going to have you roll a check. And in this moment, I'm going to set some stakes here for a second. This is a persuasion check. If you get a nat 20 on this Datura, you will, even with what is going on here, the crowd will believe anything you say going forward as an authority figure. And you can end this situation if you like.
Okay.
On a nat 20.
Let's see. That is not.
Okay.
It's not a 1, but It's not a nat 20 either.
You say this, and you go, what is going on here? And so the status quo is maintained. Everyone's sort of like, what is going on here? And everyone is kind of still confused about what's going on. And so at this point in time, we're going to continue the round. Datura, you're going to be at the end of this round, so go for it. What would you like to do?
Being held up, she did not get to learn a new spell.
That's fine.
Even though I believe that she could have. So she's going to cast Ray of Sickness at that tiger.
Awesome. Great. So the tiger's to your right here, and as you turn, you cast your spell. The Ray of Sickness shoots out. The tiger has to make a Constitution saving throw against your Ray of Sickness. Otherwise, it is going to be poisoned, and it will take some necrotic damage, if I remember correctly.
And I make a ranged spell attack, I think.
Oh, is it? Oh, go for it then.
Yeah. This die is like, I had the night off while your internet was down. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's a ranged spell attack of like 5.
Oh. 5. Okay. You shoot this
Hit
spell.
somebody in the crowd.
It's not a 1.
It hits the tiger, and you can see as this tiger kind of growls, and you watch as a black hole appears in its chest, and as the spell goes in, it vanishes into the black hole, absorbing the spell and dissipating it.
Whoa.
And then it turns and looks at you. And
Whoa.
All right. Datura, is there anything else you wanted to do?
Run?
Well, I mean, she thrust herself into this situation, so she's going to see it through.
Okay. You are standing there, though. You're kind of close to Vaskir and the attendant at this point in time. I'll kind of position you a little bit over there. Gartha's up on the roof, and Friar Tim is sort of hiding behind a corner at this moment in time. The crowd continues to watch this scene. As the round ends, we've already had our persuasion check. The status quo was maintained. But you can tell that there's a fervor going on in the crowd. The crowd wants an answer. And you have a hunch that right now the status quo is maintained, but Friar Tim was very successful in at least getting the crowd to pay attention a bit and start to question. And you feel that if you can successfully, either Gerta or Datura now, successfully at the end of next round, convince the crowd will turn and be on your side, and they will help end this situation. As the round begins, it is going to be the tiger's turn. The tiger bounds forward and is going to, I'm going to see which one the tiger turns to attack. Datura, Vaskir, or Friar Tim. I'm going to roll a d4. Okay. Friar Tim
Has to make a wisdom save because I have Sanctuary going on.
The tiger begins to bound, charging forward towards you. You see as it hits the wisdom saving throw and rolls a natural 20.
Oh, no.
Heads through. You see as the tiger continues to bound, leaping and surging towards you, Friar Tim. As you stand there in your elvish pressed leaf outfit, the tiger bounds forward and then lunges, attacking you with a feral bite. And we'll see if the tiger hits. Oh my God, a natural 20s again. The tiger slams into you, Friar Tim. The teeth wrapping around your neck. It tears into you, dealing 14 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Friar Tim.
Friar Tim, what is your last thing you can say as the crowd sees you crumbling? Remember, the elvish pressed leaf outfit lets everyone notice you all the time. And so you have a moment, your stage is yours.
Oh God, he's going to say, do we know the assistant's name?
You don't know the assistant's name. You do know, they're just an assistant of Niveau Maximum.
Okay, he's just going to point at the assistant and say, lies. Ask J.J. Abrams. And then he'll die.
You hear,
never fall unconscious.
You hear, oh no, not Friar Tim! And you see Cleopatra and Curtis, the two ones married earlier, crying. They're all looking, they're like, oh no, not Friar Tim! And you have pointed lies here. Excellent. You can, in this moment, with your aid, you'll be giving one of the two persuasion advantage because of your final moments on the stage here. After the tiger goes, it is going to be Gerta's turn.
My goodness.
Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I stand up out of where I've hunkered down. I pull off the cloak, and I say, "I am Gerta Grimm, and I will sacrifice this game because my friend is in danger because of that person." I point at the attendant.
You've pulled off the weasel costume. You hold it to the side. You can hear the kids who you hired earlier to hunt the weasel with you go, "It's vulnerable, get her!" And they're all running, you see them running across the roofs, all chasing after you. As you call this out, what's your goal here?
My goal is to persuade the crowd to take this seriously and turn on the attendant.
Excellent. This would require a persuasion check against, again, the attendant's deception check. The attendant in this situation, you will have advantage because of Friar Tim's assistance here. So the attendant is first going to roll to set the DC. The attendant gets a 13. You need to beat this.
Boom.
Okay.
Nice.
You call this out as you pull aside the costume. You hear as a lot of people go, "Wait, what? The weasel! Wait, it's not the weasel! Hey! This attendant said, wait!" And they get the attendant! And you see as people are starting to kind of rally and gather, you can go, "Oh, for the life of Father Tim, go get him!" And you see the two gnomes sprinting over as well. And you see that the crowd is beginning to turn, and you've been successful, Gerta. And as you stand there in your success, is there anything else you wanted to do?
I'm just gonna toss the cloak toward the kids who are running this way.
Cool. You
let
see
them fight over it.
One of the kids grabs the cloak and begins to put it on as the rest of them, just driven by Willie, just tackle you. So in your moment of glory, you just pile drive by a bunch of kids who all pin you down onto the ground. Everybody, "I got the weasel, we got him!" And
actually, that person's the weasel now.
And you see
I point at the kid who has it.
The costume on, turns and goes, and then runs away as fast as they can. And we have then after Gerta, it is going to be the assistant's turn. The attendant, they are turning, they're shouting, "No, no, no, this is them. They're the new ne'er-do-wells," but it's falling upon deaf ears. And now it is going to be Tim. Give me a death saving.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Tim.
Straight 20.
Yeah. Tim,
9. Oh, one strike
to perish as you are crumbling and dying, and it's Vaskir's turn.
Vaskir is going to get a shot in on this attendant. Is the attendant still on the ground?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's going to get a shot in.
You have advantage on the attack.
15 to hit.
15 does hit.
7 bludgeoning, non-lethal.
Of course, yeah. 7, 13. Okay. You hit the attendant again. You see as other people in the crowd are starting to join you. You will successfully defeat this person, Vaskir, as you continue to fight them.
Okay, because after this, he wants to just basically run down 30 feet towards Friar Tim.
All right. You begin to make your way there, but I'm going to check in on Datura. Datura, you see Vaskir has sort of subdued at this moment. The assistant and the crowd is helping. But Datura, you see Vaskir is sprinting. You passed Tim on your way in here. Tim didn't look that good, and you see the massive tiger has clearly done some damage here. What are you going to do?
So I managed to get into Roll20. The fountain, is there somewhere she could like perch if she jumped up on top of that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. So she's gonna perch up there and see what Friar Tim is looking like. And since he's looking bad, it sounds like, she's gonna try again with the crowd. And since they're, helping Vaskir, she's hoping that they will also help Friar Tim, and she's gonna say, over there, he needs healing. Sort of directing people to something maybe they were thinking about doing, like they have the impulse to help, do it now, there.
Okay.
So is that another persuasion?
This will be a persuasion check, please.
Okay. Different die. Haha! Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you
Nice.
call this, you see as somebody in the crowd goes, I'm a doctor. And then you see as another person goes, I'm a doctor too. And then you begin to sprint over and start to try to assist the situation. And then the tiger turns snarling into shit. And they're all like, we're not actually doctors, we lied. And they begin to run away in a different direction.
Dang it.
But you see as a number of what seems to be other adventurers have started to team up on the tiger and are driving it away from this scene in this situation. I'm going to now kind of conclude combat for a second because people are just getting beat up and just taken out of here left and right. Goethe, you're getting just mobbed by kids at this point in time. So I mostly want to have maybe a scene and see Vaskir, what you do here.
I think Vaskir would try to get the attention of the tiger. Actually, is the tiger? What's the tiger's attention?
The tiger has been taken away basically by adventurers, so they're fighting the tiger. You're free to now kind of do what you need to. You've gathered the crowd, and in a crowd this big, in a city this large, you are bound to find people who can assist in fights and help kind of support you in this combat.
Yeah. So I think with his normal movement, he would be able to get up to Friar Tim.
Okay.
And then he's going to his hands. He's going to see his bloodied friend, and he's going to be like, "No, Tim!" And then his hands are going to glow, and that little red patch that's right on his shoulder is going to swell up with power. And then he's going to lay his hands on Tim, and then give him 9 hit points back.
Okay. As you do this, you can see as Curtis and Cleopatra, the gnomes, are leaning over as well. They're crying, they're nervous, right? And as you cast this spell, you can see as they're just sort of like, oh, is it gonna be okay? And you see as Tim, your wounds are starting to heal, but they were kind of bleeding pretty heavily here, almost like Tarantino-esque levels of just bleeding for a second. But you begin to seal and close them up, and you bring back Friar Tim.
The light!
All right.
Welcome back, friend.
Somebody get these kids off me.
Were we victorious? Stand up. Excellent.
As you stand up, you all manage to get together for a moment, and you can have a chance to talk to the assistant as the crowd is beginning to has subdued them, and they're turning. The assistant turns, looks at you, and goes, "I'm not going to say anything."
No, really.
No, I'm going to say anything I need to do to get out of this situation. I swear, it's just bluffing.
Yeah.
What's the deal, man? Why'd you do this?
The assistant explains to you that Marcus Torrell, the right-hand assistant of curator Leah Traber, and who has been the architect of the Stars of Aurora exhibit that you worked in the other day, is planning to kill curator Traber and a large number of the gala attendants.
No.
Ooh.
Oh,
And-
no.
That there is a number of cultists there with him, and that they're too late. The assistant keeps saying, it's too late. You can't stop this. But as the bell tolls, you realize the gala is about to begin, and there's still a chance.
We gotta go.
can't-
We gotta save the curator.
We must. We can't let them get away with this.
Yes.
Hey
Yes,
kid,
of course.
I need that cloak back. No, he's gone. All right, let's go.
As you say that, Willie is standing there and going, "Adios, adios. I helped you catch the weasel. You gotta give me a favor to be repaid later."
All right, fair.
And as you all gather up and you begin to go, Gerda, you see as that kid, that teenager you duked it out with earlier in the ogre race, and whom you technically beat, you pass them, and they go, "Yeah, a deal is a deal, I guess. You did go faster than me. Though you ultimately failed, you caught the weasel. So kudos to you." And she hands you a potion.
Cool.
You all race off towards Niveau Maximum. You begin to go to the gala. And that is where we will conclude our session this evening.
Dun, dun, dun.
Nice.
Wonderful. That was great.
That was
Thanks
awesome.
for arriving just in time.
Awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah,
All
great
right.
job, Jake.
Thanks.
Well, I guess that's all the time we have for this evening. Thank you so much, Jake. This was great.
Wait.
We're
Giveaway.
Yeah, stall a little.
That's still gonna happen. Don't
Okay.
worry.
All right.
Obviously, this is gonna have to be a 3-fer, and we're gonna have you back sometime soon to
Yeah,
get
we
this
gotta stop that
done.
plot. We gotta stop it.
Obviously.
All right.
I just have a question, and when I ask this question, don't feel like I'm in charge or anything. Are we gonna go up to 3rd level? Because I've been spending all
of
this
course.
time. I've been spending all this time
What?
putting bartender in as a rogue subclass
Oh,
so that I
nice.
could play
Of
it in
course
the
you're
game.
going up to the next level.
Hell
You
yeah.
compete all
Awesome.
those events and all those
There-
fair festivals. You
There
gotta
are
get in.
really cool subclass archetype things in the Aurora book, and I'm really looking forward to playing around with that. So thank
Cool.
you so much, Jake. We're
All
just gonna talk about ourselves, and we're gonna do the giveaway. So I have been Scott to be usual DM of this game, but this time a player. I really enjoy playing rogue, so thank you for this opportunity. And Aaron's not here, so take it away, Rhiannon, our late but not last guest.
Yeah, I'm Rhiannon Held. I also write books as RZ Held. Since you didn't see much of me tonight, you could grab my books and you'll see more of me.
Hey, what a great idea.
Latest one is Idyllian, RZ Held, Space Opera. And thanks to our moderators, I don't know who they were tonight, but generally they are some of Mardug, Rumpus Imperator, Shaydark Song, and Seldering.
Hey, I'm Yang Wang. You can find me at 2 of the Yangs on Twitter, but really you can find me on the Dungeon Scrawlers Discord. If you want to get a link for that, that is !Discord. Usually we run additional giveaways there, including books and more dice and other things. And we sometimes run like community events, and we chat a bunch of D&D, and we talk Westgate Irregulars, and we're just a bunch of really cool, chill folks. So you should just join and just come hang out with us. !Discord, once again, for the link.
Nice.
All right. I'm Stephen Merlino, and I'm going to pick, or the machine's going to pick the winner now. And it is Lesh68.
Congratulations!
Hey.
Woohoo! Send us a little note with your email address in the chat, not the chat, that other thing. That thing.
Twitch message.
Twitch
mean-
messaging,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes. And we'll get the information to Phoenix Dice.
And
Nice.
just weighing in here, hi, I'm Jake. I'm over from Ink and Lyre, and come and hang out with us. I'm just a heads up, I can't wait. I'm so humbled to be able to play with you all, and I'm excited to play part 3 as we deal with the gala. Beyond that, just a heads up that I'll be running a Spelljammer campaign coming up here at the end of September. That is very Star Trekky. So we have a good
Cool.
time. So
Cool. And that's at Ink and Lyre also?
that is
What
at
day
Ink
and what time?
Wednesdays, starting at, let me look at my card here about the actual time for that. Oh, it's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard, so 8 p.m.
Perfect.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's see. Is Ink and Lyre doing something right now?
Ink and
Let's
Lyre,
go give them a raid.
I don't know if they're still going. Let's find out.
Yeah, I see they're still doing that. Let's give
Oh,
them
yeah.
a raid. So yeah, let's do the outro and then we'll give them a raid.
All right. Who does the outro?
Oh, I guess me.
Mhm.
All right. Until next time, may your word counts and your dice rolls be similarly high.
Woohoo!